Chapter 392. She really liked these naive and simple children. She liked to get along with the simple villagers. She had already regarded this place as her second hometown. She was reluctant to leave. Don't worry, nothing will happen. Wang Mingbao knew that Wang Yao had treated several people with difficult and complicated diseases. He had also gone to Beijing to treat the high-ranking officials and dignitaries there. His medical skills were quite excellent. That's good. Looking at these naive children, looking at their innocent, smiling faces, and listening to their cheerful laughter, Wang Yao felt that his trip was very worthwhile. He looked at the clothes most of them were wearing. Their clothes seemed to be a bit shabby. In the evening, Wang Mingbao was humming a tune. He was in good mood. Is she one step closer? No. Then why are you so happy? Her boyfriend hasn't called her for a week, Wang Mingbao said with a smile. Damn, she told you that. Yes. Haha, you have hope. Wang Yao suddenly remembered that he hadn't contacted Tong Wei for a few days. He would call her later. Hey, by the way, how are the children recovering? I saw them today. They're quite good. Are you also very concerned about them? Of course, it's mainly because Han Jia asked. Pretend I didn't say anything. Rain was relatively rare in Lishui in this area. It started to rain that night. It was pitter-patter. It had been 2 days. Wang Yao looked at the somewhat gloomy sky outside. He suddenly exclaimed. It's so strange. Why didn't I notice it yesterday? He suddenly found that the sky was a bit strange. Then he went to the courtyard and released his own qi to communicate with heaven and earth. As expected, the qi between heaven and earth was thicker here. Of course, it was far from being comparable to Nanshan Hill. What was the reason? Why didn't you come out with an umbrella? Wang Mingbao came out of the house with an umbrella. It's fine. After entering the house, he found that there was not a single drop of rain on Wang Yao's body. What's going on? He asked in shock. I'm angry, Wang Yao said simply. Qi, yes. Wang Yao simply waved his hand, and a gust of wind blew, causing the windows to creak. Qigong? Wang Mingbao vaguely understood now. Sort of. You have to teach me, Wang Mingbao said. No problem. Whether you can learn it or not will depend on your luck. The things in the natural classics were too profound, and there were restrictions that prevented it from being leaked. However, he could simplify it appropriately. The rain continued for half of the night. The next morning, the sky cleared up. I'll go take a look. After breakfast, Wang Yao went out alone. Wang Mingbao continued to go to school to find his pretty girl. Wang Yao went directly to the mountain behind the village along the road. There were not many trees on the mountain. Most of them were cultivated farmland. It didn't take long for Wang Yao to reach the highest point of the mountain. Standing at a high place, he could see the overall appearance of the mountain village. The village was built on the mountain. It was slightly higher on the east and west sides and slightly lower in the middle. Wang Yao walked around the mountain and didn't find anything unusual. It was strange. After going down the mountain, he was stopped by Gong Ziqiang's father on the way. Dr. Wang, Principal Gong is looking for you. Okay, I'll go now. Principal Gong came in a hurry not long after he went out. He looked very anxious. Principal Gong, are you looking for me? Hey, Dr. Wang, a family in the village is poisoned. They are now at home. I've called the county's emergency number, but it won't be here for a while. Can you go and have a look? Okay, I'll go right away. When Wang Yao rushed over, there were already many people standing in the courtyard of the family. Some were looking around, some were eating peanuts, and some were cracking melon seeds. Those who didn't know would think that they were there to watch a big show. Make way, Elder Gong shouted. The people standing in the courtyard immediately opened up a path for him. After entering the room, a family of 2 adults, and a 7-year-old child were lying on the Kong, rolling in pain. It's so serious, Wang Yao immediately diagnosed. It was a very serious poisoning, but fortunately it was short. Help them up, he shouted, but no one went forward. What are you all doing? Help them up, Mr. Gong shouted. A few people immediately went forward to help the family of 3 up. Wang Yao rubbed their stomachs one by one. Soon, they began to vomit one by one. They vomited all the food they had eaten in the morning. There was a sour smell and blood. What's going on? I don't know. They were fine in the morning. What happened? There was a lot of chatter outside. It was common for the people to gossip. Mr. Gong, do you still have a soup I boiled last time? There's still a little left. Old Principal Gong was also cautious. Seeing that the students all had severe diarrhea after drinking the decoction made by Wang Yao, he was also afraid that the decoction would have a toxic effect on the children. Therefore, he did not give the children the amount that Wang Yao told him to take. Instead, he appropriately reduced the amount and frequency of the decoction, so there was still some left. Go and get it. Okay, I'll go and get it for you. Although most of the food was vomited out, the poison had caused damage to the body. It couldn't be removed in a short period of time. Therefore, the pain would continue for a while. How did they get poisoned? I saw their husband go to get water to eat. That well? Wang Yao hurriedly asked. Yes. Didn't I say not to let them eat? They think they're fine. Their lives are not in danger for the time being, but they need further treatment, Wang Yao said. Wang Yao got up and went to the kitchen. The water they fetched in the morning was still in the bucket. It looked very clear. He scooped up a little and put it into his mouth. Bah! How did it become so strong? His face changed drastically. After the water entered his mouth, he clearly felt his tongue go numb. This was a very strong stimulation. It wasn't like this yesterday. In just one day, the concentration of the poison had increased several times. What was going on? Oh no, something happened to Aigua. Someone outside shouted. Then, the eyes of the people in the room fell on Wang Yao. Dr. Wang, what do you think? Let's go and have a look, Wang Yao said without hesitation. It was still a family, but there were only a couple. They had the same symptoms. Wang Yao used the same method to induce vomiting. It was the same vomiting with blood. In their kitchen, Wang Yao found clear well water. This water can't be drunk. The first time was a coincidence. This time there were two families and it looked so scary. This time, some people in the village believed it. After all, they had seen it with their own eyes. Even if they didn't believe it, they didn't dare to drink the water in the well again. Go and seal the well for me. The village secretary directly gave the order. When Principal Gong came back with the medicinal soup, he was panting. He had trotted all the way. After all, he was old. Here, Dr. Wang, Principal Gong said. There was still a lot left. Wang Yao didn't think too much about it. He divided the antidote into several portions and let the poison people drink it. After a series of torment, their lives were finally saved. Woo! The ambulance outside came late. The mountain village was still quite far from the county town. 5 people. Seeing so many people, the doctor was dumbfounded. This car was really unbearable. In the end, there was no other way. The patients squeezed in. 2 family members squeezed in. The rest of the family members directly rode their motorcycles to the county town. Before leaving, Wang Yao told the doctor who came with the car. The doctor looked at Wang Yao with a strange look, as if he was saying, "Don't worry. Who are you? How can you be so capable?" "I'm also a doctor." Wang Yao took out his medical qualification certificate. "Oh," the man responded to the doctor. It was considered an answer. "TSK." Wang Yao sighed helplessly. How could this be? Wang Mingbao, who came back from school, was stunned when he heard the news. They didn't take what I said seriously at all. Wang Yao said helplessly. He could understand this. After all, he was a young man from outside. It was difficult for a newcomer to let the people in the village believe his words. However, this matter really didn't make sense. These people clearly didn't take their lives seriously. The key was, why did the poison in the well suddenly increase? I'll go and check the other well. Wang Yao was worried that there was a problem with the other well. However, the water taken from the other well was not a problem at all. Is there something in the other well? When Wang Yao came to the other well, he saw several villagers carrying things to seal the mouth of the well. Wait a minute. Wang Yao came to the side of the well and looked inside. The well water was relatively clear. He could vaguely see the bottom of the well. Find me a rope. I'll go down and have a look, he thought and said. What? Go down? Isn't the water poisonous? Wang Mingbao asked. It's okay. I'm not afraid. You better not go down. Wang Mingbao was worried about his safety. It's okay. The rope was found and tied to Wang Yao's waist. Several people pulled at the mouth of the well. Hold on. Wang Mingbao shouted. Because of the year of drawing water, the mouth of the well was covered with moss. It was very wet and slippery. However, Wang Yao was not an ordinary person. He stretched out his hand. With a crack, his palm pierced into the rock. Slowly, he approached the surface of the well. The water was very clear. There was a burst of coolness. From here, he could clearly see the bottom of the well water. There was nothing unusual. Strange. Pull me up. Several people pulled him up. How is it? I didn't find anything unusual, Wang Yao said. That's strange. Hey, what about Shangjuan? I just called. I'm still waiting for the result. Chapter 393. Seal it. Don't drink the water from this well, Wang Yao said to the villagers. Okay. They sealed the well with wooden boards and added a few big stones around it. It was already afternoon when they finished all this. Wang Yao was about to find a place to drink water when the secretary of the village came to invite him to his house. The secretary of the village was called Gong Zurong. He was an old man in his 50s. Thank you, Dr. Wang, Gong Zurong said. First, he treated the children. Then, he saved 2 families. The key was that he didn't ask for anything in return. That alone was very rare. You're welcome. Well, Dr. Wang, where did the poison in the well come from? The old man thought for a while and asked. I really don't know. We have to wait for the inspection and quarantine results in Shangjuan to further analyze and judge. Is there any problem with the well? There is no problem for the time being, Wang Yao said. Well, Dr. Wang, are you free tonight? I am free. Then, why don't you come to my house for dinner? Okay. After leaving the secretary's house, Wang Yao went back to Gong Aigua's house and found that there were several guests in his house. Dr. Wang. After seeing Wang Yao, they all stood up and greeted him. Wang Yao had seen some of them before, but he didn't know some of them at all. Hello, Wang Yao responded with a smile. Dr. Wang, is it expensive to treat your illness? One of them asked. Wang Yao was stunned. He immediately understood that these people came to see him for treatment. That depends on what kind of illness you have, Wang Yao said with a smile. Can you take a look at me? I am very uncomfortable, the man said. It always hurts when I bend down. Okay. Wang Yao took a look at him. It was a typical lumbar muscle strain. Lumbar muscle strain. You are tired from working. Rest more on weekdays. I will give you a massage. Wang Yao then used the massage technique and a little bit of nashi to massage him for treatment. Comfortable. That person enjoyed it very much. He only felt that his waist was warm, as if he was lying on a hot brick bed in his house. Moreover, it didn't hurt that much anymore. Amazing. The patient's intuition was the best indicator of the problem. After only half an hour of massage, his body was obviously much more comfortable. Well, how much should I pay you? Forget it. Go back and rest more. But sleep on a hot bed and apply a hot compress, Wang Yao said with a smile. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. The man smiled and left. Then there was the second person. This was a woman in her 40s. Her hair was gray, and she had a headache. Whenever the weather turned cold, the pain would be especially severe. This was a cold that had entered his brain. Wang Yao gave her a massage, and she felt much better. Then, he gave her a prescription. This is the prescription. Go find a pharmacy and get the medicine. Show it to me when you get it back. All right, thank you. You're welcome. The third person also had back pain. His condition was the same as the first person's, and he received the same treatment. After the 3 people left the meeting, the sky darkened. It was already night. Gong Aigua's wife had already started to prepare dinner at home. We won't be eating at your house today. Wang Yao told her about going to the secretary's house for dinner. Oh, okay. Why do you want to treat us to dinner? You'll know when you get there. The village secretary's family's financial situation was not better than Gong Aigua's family. It was even worse. Dinner was a few simple home-cooked dishes. The wine was good. My son brought me wine from outside. I usually can't bear to drink it. You have to taste it well, Wang Mingbao said with a smile. After drinking 2 sips of wine, they gradually became familiar with each other. Dr. Wang, Manager Wang, I really have to thank you this time. The people from the county town came back. They said that the people who were treated were sent to the hospital in time. Otherwise, their lives might have been in danger. They were also worried about how to deal with them. The old party secretary knew that it was all Wang Yao's credit. "You're welcome. How can a good well be ruined?" The old man sighed and said, "Dr. Wang, I heard that you didn't ask for money to treat a few people in the afternoon." "Oh, that's a small matter," Wang Yao said with a smile. "It's a small matter to you, but it's a kindness to us." The old party secretary drank a mouthful of wine alone. "Our mountain village is inconvenient with no special products. The villagers are poor. They're so poor that they don't have money to see a doctor or go to school. You don't know that it's difficult for the villagers to marry a wife now," the old man said. "As soon as they heard that they were from our village, they didn't want to come over. The nearby villages are not very good, right?" Wang Yao said. He saw that the dirt road was still extending into the mountain. "There should be other villages on it. It's similar to our village. I see that there are quite a lot of antiques and jujube trees in the village." The millet and jujube trees in Qinzhou were very famous. "There are quite a lot of them. Some people come to buy them, but they can't get the price," the old party secretary said. In the mountain village, one had to rely on the sky to make a living and ask for money from the ground. "It'll be better if the road is built." "The county has no money," the old man said. "Our county is poor." "Not a problem," Wang Yao said. He accompanied the old man to drink a few glasses of wine. He listened to the old man talk about some things and complained about some things. When the two of them went out, it was already past 8 p.m. The sky was completely dark. In the evening, Wang Yao sat alone in the courtyard and looked at the sky. The sky in the village was relatively high because of the less pollution. "What are you looking at?" Wang Mingbao asked with a cigarette in his mouth. "Celestial phenomenon. What do you see from this?" Huh? Wang Yao suddenly stood up and looked at the sky. "What's wrong? It's strange." It was the first time he had seen such a strange celestial phenomenon. Wang Mingbao didn't know what his brother was talking about. That night, the village dogs kept barking for no reason. "Oh no." Wang Yao suddenly woke up. "Get up." He first woke up Wang Mingbao, then Gong Aigua's family, and went to the courtyard. "What's wrong, Dr. Wang?" "Go and wake up the people nearby." "What's wrong?" "I think it's going to be an earthquake." "What? Earthquake?" "It's too late. Cover your ears." Wang Mingbao subconsciously covered his ears. Gong Aigua's family also covered their ears. They didn't know what the young man was going to do. "Get up." The roar was like thunder. It rolled in all directions and shook the windows of the house. "What's going on?" The people in the village were all awakened by the roar. Or rather, they were awakened by the shock. Wang Mingbao and Gong Aigua's family were all dumbfounded. Rumble. And the earth began to shake. There was an earthquake. The people in the village ran out of the house. Then it was calm. It was gone. The village dogs were still barking. The villagers didn't dare to go into the house to sleep. "Is it still shaking?" Wang Mingbao asked. "How would I know?" After staying in the yard for 2 hours, the barking of the dogs in the village subsided. "It should be fine now. Then let's go into the house to sleep." They went into the house to sleep. The others stayed in the yard or gathered together. They didn't dare to go into the house. I'm so sleepy. Why is there an earthquake all of a sudden?" "Hey, didn't you hear the last one?" "Of course I heard it. It was like thunder. I got up all of a sudden." "What was that sound?" "I don't know. Was it a firecracker?" "It sounded like someone was shouting." "Shouting? Who could have such a loud voice?" The next morning, almost all the villagers were listless. After all, no one slept well the night before. There was a loud roar, followed by an earthquake. Although they didn't have the energy, they still had to work for the day. Breakfast was also a must. Therefore, the villagers yawned and went to the only well left in the village to fetch water. As a result, the water they brought up was murky and unclear. "What's wrong with the water? It's not poisonous, is it?" The villagers were worried. Someone took the water to Wang Yao. "It's poisonous. You can't drink it anymore," Wang Yao said after tasting it. "What should we do?" Both wells were poisonous. The drinking water in the village had become a problem. There was no poison in the water at first. After the slight earthquake last night, there was poison. Did the poison come from underground? Wang Yao stared at the bucket of water and thought about it. Although yesterday's earthquake lasted for a short time, it did happen. The most obvious problem was that the walls of several old houses in the village were cracked. There was a large trench on the hillside south of the village. It was more than 10 centimeters wide and about 2 meters deep. There was no water in the village. This was the most direct problem faced by hundreds of families. What should we do? No, we have to fetch water from the reservoir to the village. How far away is that? There was another reservoir about a kilometer away from the village, but it was far from the village. It was usually used for irrigation. The water doesn't taste good either. Why don't we take advantage of this opportunity to connect the tap water? It's easy for you to say, the villagers said. What about the money? Who will pay for it? When it came to the issue of money, everyone shut up. What the village lacked was money. At this time, Wang Yao was on the hill outside the village. He was staring at the crack in the ground. What's going on? He felt a unique aura seeping out of the crack in the ground. It was definitely not the aura of the earth. He felt a sense of coldness from the aura. Strange. He stared at the crack and thought for a while. Then, he turned and went back to the village. After a while, he came back with a shovel and a pick in his hand. Then, he chose a suitable place and began to dig a hole. Hey, what are you doing? Wang Mingbao came out of the village. It took him a long time to find him. At this time, Wang Yao had already dug a square pit. I think there may be something underground. Something? What is it? I don't know. Let's dig and see. As he kept digging, he felt that the cold aura was getting stronger and stronger. There must be something special underground. Chapter 394. The hole was getting bigger and bigger. At this time, Wang Yao was like an excavator. His speed was frighteningly fast. He took turns to pick and lift. Soon, a big mound appeared on the ground. What are you going to dig? Wang Mingbao wanted to go down to help several times, but he was stopped by Wang Yao. I want to see what is down there. It may have something to do with the polluted well water in the village, Wang Yao said. He could feel that the strange aura around him was getting stronger and stronger. Strange. Why do I feel a cold wind coming up from this hole? Wang Mingbao squatted above and asked. You feel it too? Yes, what is going on? I can't explain it. You dig first. I'll go down and get you some water. Wang Mingbao turned around and walked a few steps. Rumble. The ground under his feet shook. Not good. He turned around and saw that half of the mound behind him had collapsed. Wang Yao, he shouted and rushed over. He saw that half of the hole had been filled. Damn it. He hurriedly began to dig with his hands. Wait here. I'll find someone to save you. He felt that digging like this was definitely not going to work. After all, Wang Yao had dug out several square meters of soil and stones. He was about to run to the village when he heard a voice coming from the hole behind him. Get out of the way. Wang Mingbao was taken aback when he heard that. He quickly left the room and retreated. Okay, I'll get out of the way. With a bang, dust flew into the air as a figure rushed out from the ground and landed on the ground. Wang Yao jumped out of the hole. There was not a speck of dust on his body. Wang Mingbao was stunned. How did you do that? Luck surrounded the body like wearing armor, Wang Yao said simply. Amazing, Wang Mingbao said with a smile. He was worried about his brother's safety just now. Rumble. The ground under their feet shook again. What's going on? Wang Yao walked to the hole that he had just dug. The bottom of the hole had collapsed. A piece of it fell down, revealing a hole. A cold wind blew. What's the situation? I'll go down and have a look. Take it easy. I'm fine. Wang Yao's ability was extraordinary. Things like a landslide like this would not be able to kill him. He went down the hole and came to the bottom. He looked at the collapsed area and saw a person. It was a stone sculpture of a guard holding a spear. Behind it was a stone door. Ancient tomb. Wang Yao immediately realized what it was. It was an ancient tomb. What? Ancient tomb? After hearing the news, Wang Mingbao also took the risk and went down the hole that was nearly 5 meters deep. Sure enough, he saw the statue and the stone door. It's true. What should we do? Call the relevant department. This is a cultural relic. Wang Yao reported this matter to the old party secretary, and the old party secretary reported it to the town. The action of the county was surprisingly fast. After receiving the news, they arranged for people to come over in the afternoon and reported it to the city. At night, They were worried that there would be problems, so they left the police to guard the place. The next day, Wang Yao also received the test report from Shangjuan. It was an electronic version. There were toxins in the water. Chemical toxins and biological toxins existed at the same time. Chemical toxins were easy to explain. They were mainly heavy metals. Biological toxins were not clearly defined. However, they were definitely harmful to the human body and were fatal. They could not rule out the possibility of spread and infection. Connecting it with the underground tomb discovered the day before, it could be concluded that the toxins in the well water were likely to come from the tomb. As for how the toxins entered and why only one well was contaminated at the beginning, but both wells were contaminated at the same time after the earthquake, this could only be known after the ancient tomb was opened. The action of Shangjuan was also very fast. In the morning, relevant archaeologists came to the mountain village. The mountain village, which was usually quiet, suddenly became lively. They found an ancient tomb. Really? Is the thing inside valuable? It's not yours even if it's valuable. It's all public property. For a moment, they seemed to have temporarily forgotten the problem of not having water to drink. Wang Yao continued to follow the recovery of the bodies of the dozen children. They were recovering well. It would be better if they had more nutrition. Their bodies are almost recovered. The cause has been found. I'm going to leave, Wang Yao said. Go back. Yes, why? Are you still reluctant to leave? I think we may have further development in a few days, Wang Mingbao said. You can stay. I'll leave the car for you, Wang Yao said with a smile. Okay. In the afternoon, Wang Yao went to see the old principal and the old party secretary. He explained the situation to the two elders. Can't you stay for 2 more days? The old party secretary urged him to stay. Through these few days of contact, he found that this young man had a rare shining point. He had saved more than a dozen children, 2 families, and 7 or 8 people in the village. These were all free of charge, and he did not ask for a single cent. The key point was that he drove all the way here, so he must have spent a lot of money on the road. Such a person was a good person, and such actions were good deeds. You can rest assured that the children's illnesses are no longer a big problem. There may be some toxins in the ancient tomb that have seeped into the ground and contaminated the well water. Don't drink the underground water here. Don't feed it to the animals or water the land. Okay, the old man said. Come to my house for dinner that night, the old party secretary said. Okay. That night, the old party secretary cooked 10 dishes. Even when his son and daughter came back for Chinese New Year, it was not so grand. It was to express his gratitude to Wang Yao. The 2 old men talked a lot and drank a lot of wine. They were drunk. The night was uneventful. The next day, Wang Yao packed his things and was ready to leave. Wang Mingbao drove him to Shangjuan, then to Bingzhou. He took a plane back to hike. When the villagers heard that Wang Yao was ready to leave, many people came to see him off. They also filled his car with local specialties, such as winter dates, millet, and native eggs. These simple villagers used these things to express their gratitude and love for him. I'll come again if I have the chance in the future. Okay, Dr. Wang, come visit when you have time. Okay, thank you. Wang Yao smiled. Let's go. The car had not gone far when they heard shouting from behind. Oh no, someone died on the mountain. Stop the car. With a squeak, the car stopped. It looks like we can't leave. Someone really died. The person who died was an archaeologist. He died of poisoning. When a stone door was opened a crack, pitch-black venom shot out from inside and sprayed directly on his face. He screamed a few times, struggled, and fell. Then he died. At the same time, 2 people next to him were poisoned and injured. They fell to the ground and fainted. Wang Yao checked. It was very dangerous because the venom was very strong. Prepare hot water. He didn't even have time to boil it. He melted 2 leaves of the antidote grass and gave it to the poisoned people. There was a unique fishy smell in the air near the ancient tomb. Don't crowd around here. Stay away from the ancient tomb, Wang Yao said. After hearing that, the villagers all scattered. Well, doctor, how are they? The person in charge of the ancient tomb excavation was a little dumbfounded. It was just a small attempt. He didn't expect to encounter such a thing. That one is confirmed to be dead. As for the other two, it's hard to say, Wang Yao said. They were also seriously injured. Their faces were corroded and soon festered. It could be seen that it was a highly corrosive venom. Even if they could survive, they would be disfigured. Ah, the man sighed after hearing that. The car from the county hospital came nearly 2 hours later. The accompanying medical staff was stunned when they saw the condition of the patients. Had their faces been splashed with sulfuric acid? It was not over. Soon, some of the nearby helpers began to vomit and have diarrhea. They were all people hired by the excavation team from the local villages. The old party secretary went to find Wang Yao immediately. At this time, Wang Yao had used up all the antidote grass. Without the antidote, the effect of nashi treatment in such a situation would be poor. I need some Chinese herbs. Licorice, perilla leaves, salt petri, black fern, grassy river wheel, squamaderma. Among the herbs Wang Yao needed, only licorice was with him. He had to buy the rest. Where's the nearest pharmacy? It's in town. I'll ask someone to take you there. Okay. After buying the herbs, the next step was to decoct them. One by one, the herbs were added into the clay pot and slowly decocted. The quality of the herbs was much worse. After the decoction was finished, he took them out and cooled them for a while before distributing them to the poisoned people. Without the antidote grass, the treatment effect of the herbs was definitely worse. Before the medicine was finished, the ambulance from the hospital arrived. What's wrong with your village? Their county hospital had recently received 7 or 8 patients from this village who had been poisoned. Now, a few more had collapsed. Poisoning. As long as nothing else happened, it would be fine. Something else had happened, but it was not in the village. It happened in the hospital in Jia County. Recently, several nurses in the internal medicine department suddenly had diarrhea and vomiting. It was suspected that they were infected by the new patients. 4 more came today. What symptoms? Vomiting and diarrhea. One of them is in a coma. F*CK. Could it be that there's an outbreak of an epidemic? The doctors in these departments were also on tenterhooks. After all, they were also human. They could catch a cold and have diarrhea. In a considerable number of cases, the more they knew, the more scared they would be. Dr. Wang, do you think it's an infectious disease? The old party secretary also had the same concern. It's possible, Wang Yao said. It could be the spread and infection of some kind of biological poison. Then what should we do? Use lime water and sprinkle it in the village. Focus on the ancient tomb. The people in the cultural relics unit acted faster. They seemed to have encountered a similar situation. In the shortest time, they sterilized the area near the ancient tomb and set up an isolation zone. After the successive incidents, the whole village was in a panic. Chapter 395. The next day, the county's inspection and quarantine department came and conducted a free blood test for the villagers. Wang Yao and Wang Mingbao were no exception. The number of people with diarrhea and vomiting in the village was increasing. Wang Mingbao also had the same situation, but Wang Yao discovered it in time. He took medicine and used nashi treatment to quickly control the situation. Then, something worse happened. The entire village was quarantined. Are you sure it's an epidemic? It's possible. What's the reason? We found an ancient tomb from the Tang dynasty and found biological toxins in it. The main leaders of Jia County and Bingzhou held a special meeting as soon as they received the news. After all, it was an epidemic. If it broke out, the consequences would be unimaginable. This is troublesome. Looking at the police on duty outside, Wang Yao sighed. I don't think it's troublesome. Wang Mingbao took a sip of wine. Is your stomach feeling better again? What did I tell you? Ah, sorry, Wang Mingbao said with a smile. He wanted to win the girl's heart. As for the family business, his friends and relatives would help him take care of it. I've really caused you trouble. Gong Aigua and the village secretary had said that. It's okay. However, through this incident, Wang Yao was almost about to complete the task of spreading his name far and wide. It seems that it's okay to stay a few more days. At noon, he received a call from Tongwei. Why did you suddenly go to Qinzhou? Again, I came to see a few special patients, Wang Yao said. What kind of patients? Children. Children? Then, Wang Yao told Tongwei why he was there and what had happened. You have to be careful there. After hearing that the water there was toxins, Tong Wei was worried. It's okay. The water here is no longer drinkable. We have a special water truck to deliver water every day. It's just not convenient to take a bath, Wang Yao said. Ever since the village was quarantined, there were indeed water trucks coming here every day to deliver tap water. This amount of water was only enough for normal drinking water in the village. Naturally, it was not enough for bathing. In fact, with Wang Yao's current situation, even if he did not bathe for a year, his body would not have any strange odors. Now that all the meridians in his body were unobstructed and he could communicate with heaven and earth, he could be considered a person who had achieved the Tao. The small mountain village was quarantined, but something unexpected happened in the county town of Jia County. From the hospital, the terrible disease of vomiting and diarrhea seemed to spread. At first, it was just a case. But after 2 days, the number of patients in the hospital increased exponentially. This made the local medical and health department feel like they were facing a great enemy. They didn't dare to hide anything. They reported it one by one, passed through the city, and then reported it to the province. The provincial government even held a special meeting and decided to arrange for experts to come to Jia County as soon as possible to help solve the problem. With the previous experience and lesson, they took this matter very seriously. Life went on in the mountain village. The school was not suspended, but the children who came to school from the nearby mountain village were asked to stay. Originally, the village where they came from was monitored together. However, after a check, it was magically found that the children did not carry the biological toxin in their bodies. The children were asked to stay alone. This matter made Wang Yao feel a little strange. If the thing that came out of the ancient tomb was a kind of infectious biological virus, why were the children who came to school not infected? Why were the teachers and principals with them not infected? Why were they only infected after drinking the water from the well and drinking the toxin? This question also puzzled the experts who came from the province and the city. It's strange, really strange. Why is it not contagious? They also found this problem during the treatment process. The people who received treatment in the hospital were obviously divided into 2 groups. One group was very contagious. Even a slight contact could cause infection. The other group was not very contagious. These people were from a mountain village. There was only one exception among them, and it was very likely that this exception caused the incident. This was a coincidence. It sounded like a story or a novel. The virus in their bodies is different. Different? Yes, it's a very subtle difference, but this subtle difference determines their infectious characteristics. In Jia County, they were worried about the inexplicable sudden illness. In the mountain village, Wang Yao came to the sealed well. What are you going to do? Go in and have a look. What? After finishing his words, Wang Yao removed all the things that were sealed in the well. I'm going in. Wait, there is no rope tied. Before Wang Mingbao finished speaking, Wang Yao had already jumped in. With a splash, the water splashed everywhere. It's so cold. You'll catch a cold. In fact, Wang Yao's body was not wet at all. At this time, there was a layer of invisible aura around his body, like armor wrapping around him. Although he was in the water, it was as if he was on land. It was like the water-repelling spell used by the cultivators in Xinxia stories to enter rivers, lakes, and seas. Sure enough, he found water weeds at the bottom of the well. In places where there were heavy metals and biological toxins, they were still very lush after being soaked all day. These things themselves may have changed. There must be something that could resist them. It was like flies and mice going in and out of some very dirty places all day, but not getting sick. Wang Yao picked a handful and then jumped. His whole body rushed out of the well like a bird and landed on the ground. Wang Mingbao was stunned. Why are your clothes not wet? I told you. Chi around the body like wearing armor. Yes. You must teach me this. Wang Mingbao had already made up his mind to learn from his good brother when he went back. He didn't need to use an umbrella or a poncho when it rained. Now, it seemed that he was fine even if he was buried under the ground or flooded. Could he still be invulnerable to fire and water? This was too awesome. In fact, he was thinking a little too much. After he came back to his senses, He pointed to a handful of water weeds in Wang Yao's hand and asked, "Wait, what are you holding in your hand?" "Water weeds. Don't you know this?" "Of course I know. You went down for this?" "Yes." "Why?" "The well water is poisonous. After the earthquake, the poison became even more powerful, but these water weeds are not affected at all. This means that they are not afraid of the poison." "You mean they may be the antidote?" "Yes, it is possible. We will know when we go back and try." As for how to purify these things, Wang Yao could only use the treatment method of Chinese medicine for reference. Of course, these water weeds might have ingredients to restrain the virus. It was also possible that there was a large amount of virus accumulation in them. Both of these possibilities existed. "Hey, what's wrong with our sheep?" Terrible things happened in the village. Some livestock also had reactions. They fell to the ground and foamed at the mouth. This situation only made people more panic. "What the hell is going on? Do you think the martial law is going to make us stay here and die here?" The small mountain village was in a state of panic. At this time, the relevant departments should have come out to explain and guide them. Unfortunately, they did not. Only the police were on guard. Then, there were more armed police. Some villagers went to ask, but they were afraid to stay away. They were afraid of infection. However, this behavior made the villagers more panic. They didn't send a doctor, and they didn't let us go out. "What if we get sick?" "No, we can't do this. Let's escape at night." In fact, it was difficult to seal off the mountain village. It was surrounded by mountains. If they wanted to escape, they would have to send troops to completely surround the mountain village and gather everyone together. Obviously, they did not do that. However, the police and armed police who came to carry out the task were also prepared. They installed a lot of temporary cameras around the village. Night shrouded the entire mountain village. On this day, 3 sheep and 5 chickens in the village fell. They were still at death's door. It was unknown if they could survive the next day. Chapter 396. Sometimes, a look or a movement could change a person's fate. That night, 2 men in the mountain village were discussing how to escape. They ran along the mountain road. It was dark on the mountain road, so they couldn't see clearly. They were worried about being discovered, so they didn't use a flashlight. About an hour after they ran out, the person in charge of monitoring found the situation through the video. He was anxious and immediately organized people to chase after them. Their chase made a lot of noise, which alarmed the entire mountain village. What? They ran away? The village secretary was stunned when he heard the news. Although he was anxious, he didn't have any good ideas. He could only let people chase after them. In order to chase the 2 men, the police and the armed police were mobilized. They searched all over the mountain. It was as if they were catching ferocious fugitives. They even used police dogs. "Hey, where are we going to escape to?" "It doesn't matter. Let's escape first. We may lose our lives if we stay in the village." These 2 people were usually idlers in the village. People like them tended to be more active and had more tricks up their sleeves. Because of the police dogs, they quickly found the direction of the chase. The 2 men didn't even take a flashlight. It was very slow to walk on a mountain road. Woof, woof, woof. They heard dogs barking behind them. "Dogs? There are lights. Someone is coming to catch us. Hurry up and run." They hurried in the mountain forest like headless goshawks without any purpose. "Be careful." In the middle of the night, the police and the armed police found the 2 men who had passed out. They couldn't see the mountain road clearly because of the pursuit behind them. They hurried forward and fell into a gully. The gully was nearly 20 meters high. There were many rocks inside. One of the men hit his head on a rock. There was a big hole in his head. He twitched a few times on the spot and died. The other man was seriously injured. The next day, the news was learned by the people in the village. It quickly spread. The panic in the village became more serious. Because of this, there was a person outside who came out of nowhere to find the village secretary. He followed him for a distance and scolded him. The old man didn't say anything. He just listened quietly. "They don't care about our lives." The villagers gathered in 2s and 3s. How could a person die just like that? Say, do you think he was beaten to death? Because there was no clear guidance, this kind of rumor spread like wildfire and the result was panic among the villagers. Soon, there was another rumor in the village. If you run around, you'll be beaten to death. Is it that serious? Wang Mingbao asked with a cigarette in his mouth. I don't think so, but the atmosphere is quite tense. Wang Yao was still studying the seaweed that he had retrieved from the well. Since it was an experiment, he needed a test subject. Wang Yao found a sick sheep. Seeing that it was about to die, Wang Yao informed the old party secretary and found a dilapidated courtyard. He tied the sheep there and then began his experiment. It was very simple. He just fed the sheep some watergrass and let it drink the juice of the watergrass. What are you doing? Wang Yao asked. I think there is a component in the watergrass that can suppress the toxin of this organism. I'm using it for the experiment. Bah! The sheep bleated weakly. Look at it. I think it is torture for it to live. Wang Mingbao squatted on the ground with a cigarette in his mouth and looked at the sheep. You're not a sheep. You don't know what it is thinking, but I am sure it doesn't want to die. After eating it, there was no obvious change in the sheep. Let's go back. In Shangjuan, more than a dozen medical experts gathered together for a meeting. The topic of the meeting was how to deal with the sudden emergence of the infectious disease. After their efforts, the spread of the disease had been suppressed to a certain extent, but the effective treatment drug had not been developed. They had no clue at all. The existing drugs had a very limited effect on the pathogenic microbes. I have decided that we need to go to the village, an older doctor said. Find the source of the infection. Yes. No one has entered the ancient tomb yet, right? No. When the stone door of the tomb was opened, one died and two were injured. Then the disease appeared. All the archaeologists that were quarantined there. They stopped excavating and investigating. I think Professor Zhang's suggestion is right. We should go and have a look. We've already collected the virus samples and analyzed them. What's the point of going there now? The dozen or so people divided into two different suggestions. In the end, the old man sitting at the head of the meeting made the decision. Let's go and have a look. Since they had decided to go, they had to report it to their superiors. After their application was approved, they organized a few people with equipment and went straight to the mountain village. Don't you feel more energetic now? After lunch, Wang Mingbao chatted with his sweetheart for a while before going to the sheep pen. He was surprised to find that the sheep seemed to have changed. Yes, there are some changes. This morning, the archaeologists who were quarantined here were in a bad mood. They went to see the secretary. What kind of mood? Hey, the conditions here are not good. I guess they are too depressed. Ancient tomb? I remember there are trees on the mountain, right? Yes, what's wrong? Let's go and have a look. Wang Yao got up and walked up the mountain. Hey, you're saying the same thing. A big hole had been dug in front of the ancient tomb. The surroundings had been cleaned. If it were in the past, they would have been forbidden to enter. However, the archaeologists were obviously in a bad mood. Wang Mingbao gave them a few cigarettes and said a few nice words. After that, they went in. I remember there were trees on the top of the ancient tomb. There were still trees when I was digging. Yes, I remember that too. Where are the trees? Wait, I'll go and ask. Soon, Wang Mingbao came back and told them the location. They found the trees at the foot of the mountain. It was autumn, so there were not many leaves left. Now they were all gone. What a pity. I'll go and have a look at the ancient tomb. Hey, you can't do that. Hearing that Wang Yao was going to go in, the archaeologist stopped him. It's very dangerous inside. If you destroy the relics after you go in, we will be in trouble. It's okay. I'll take care of it, Wang Yao said with a smile. How are you going to take care of it? Why are you so slow? Wang Mingbao was a little impatient. Then I won't go in. I'll take a look in the tomb. Okay. After going down the tomb, Wang Yao opened the first half-open stone door and saw a long corridor. There were some strange stone sculptures on both sides of the corridor. There was another stone door inside. He sniffed carefully. There was a unique, rancid smell inside. Just as they were going down the ancient tomb, the experts from the city had arrived outside the mountain village. They began to put on isolation suits. What are they going to do? I heard they are expert from the province and the city. I guess they are going to enter the village. They are wearing isolation suits. Why do they look like they are giving you nuclear radiation? They're all dressed like this, but we are only wearing masks. They're going to enter the village. Several people in isolation suits entered the village. They found the secretary and asked him to lead the way to the ancient tomb. Damn, what is this? Wang Mingbao was shocked when he saw the experts. You are also here? These are the experts from the city. Yes, I can see that. Wang Mingbao had a cigarette in his mouth. Who are they? The experts could see at a glance that Wang Yao and Wang Mingbao were most likely not from this village. Oh, this is Dr. Wang, and this is Manager Wang. They are here to treat the children here. Doctor, which hospital are you from? I'm not a local. I am from Qi province, Wang Yao said. Oh, they walked around and looked carefully, but they didn't find anything. They couldn't enter the ancient tomb at all. There was another stone door in the corridor behind the first stone door. Secretary Gong, gather your people, especially the children you mentioned just now. We need to draw their blood for a test. Okay, why do we need to draw their blood again? The villagers were very uncooperative with the people in the special clothes. They didn't even listen to the words of a respected person in the village like Mr. Gong. People were confused. We need to draw more blood from these children. They had similar diseases before, but they were cured. After learning about this, several experts carefully examined the children. Dr. Wang, what medicine did you give them? Herbal medicine. Herbal medicine? The doctors were stunned. Can you tell me the formula? Well, this is Dr. Long from our provincial hospital. Another middle-aged man said stiffly when he saw Wang Yao hesitating. Ha! Wang Yao smiled. The reason why his medicine worked was because of the detoxification grass. Everything else was secondary. Therefore, even if they knew the prescription, it would not be of much use. Okay, I will write it for you. Wang Yao took out a pen and paper and wrote a formula. It was another formula he used after the detoxification herb was used up. It was also effective, but it was definitely not as good. Okay, thank you. I'm trying to save people, Wang Yao said. The experts left with disappointment. Look at their arrogant faces. In my opinion, you shouldn't have given them the formula, Wang Mingbao said angrily. Chapter 397. This is to save people, Wang Yao said. If it had been any other situation, the prescription would not have been given out so easily. Although it was just some common herbs, the combination might be a new kind of medicine. Every new medicine could be very profitable. Let's go and see the sheep, Wang Yao said. Bah, it had only been a day, but the sheep was obviously much better. Your watergrass is really useful. Let's go and get another sheep. After all, the watergrass in the well was limited. He wanted to try other things. This time, he fed the sheep with the leaves of the trees that were cut from above the ancient tomb. The leaves are all dry. Why do you still eat the sheep? How long has it been since you fed the sheep? The sheep did eat, but it couldn't eat much because of its illness. In fact, the sheep's plant diet was quite extensive. It ate leaves, grass, fresh and dried. If the leaves also work, it would be easier. Wang Yao looked up at the mountain peak not far away. Another person in the village fell ill. His family went to Wang Yao. It was the same disease. This time, Wang Yao gave him watergrass and several other herbs to boil and take. These herbs are almost used up. Last time, the herbs Wang Yao bought from outside were almost used up. At that time, he didn't expect the disease to suddenly break out, so he didn't buy so much. I need herbs, Wang Yao said. He was a pharmacist, not a god. He couldn't cure all kinds of diseases out of thin air, even if he had magical nashi now. Now the village was isolated. If he wanted to buy herbs, he needed to communicate with the people outside. Wang Yao told the village secretary about this matter and let him be responsible for communicating with the people outside. Just as he was busy in the village, something happened outside the village. A group of reporters with cameras and other things were stopped outside the village by the armed police. Looking at their somewhat crazy appearance, they were like sharks that smelled blood. Hello, I'm a reporter from Qingzhou Metropolis Daily. Is there an epidemic here? Sorry, no comment. Hello. I am. The police and armed police were annoyed beyond words. These reporters were like a swarm of flies, but they were not **T. If there were no laws, they would have slapped them long ago. Look at all of them. They knew that there was an epidemic here, and they still rushed over here without a care for their lives. Are they that dedicated and eager to be famous? Of course, they can't do such a thing, but it doesn't mean that others won't do such a thing. Soon, an unknown leader rushed over after receiving the news. Then, he used forceful means to drive away these reporters. Very good. Satisfying. This was the common feeling of the armed police. At this time, the old party secretary came to negotiate with them. Naturally, he didn't have a good face. Can't the people in our village be treated when they are sick? Are we just going to watch them die? The old party secretary was furious. The situation is special. Special? You guys are just sitting there doing nothing. What did you say? The leader's expression changed. See, I told you that there would be a problem, right? Wang Mingbao was worried that something would happen, so he suggested that Wang Yao follow behind and take a look. Then, he heard the conversation between them. Logically speaking, such a situation should be a positive and gentle attitude, but the way they dealt with it was obviously too rough and direct. Wang Yao felt very angry. This is your way of dealing with it? He stepped forward and asked calmly, "Who are you? What does it have to do with you?" TSK. That tone. Wang Mingbao recorded it for him. I'll post it on the internet later. You'll see how overbearing the people's public servants are. The leader took a few deep breaths. Give me the list. Finally, he gave in. Please hurry up, Wang Mingbao said. The man turned and left. Looking at his back, Wang Yao was a little lost in thought. On the other hand, after returning to Shangjuan, Dr. Long began to study the prescription provided by Wang Yao and began to experiment on patients. The effect could only be seen after a period of observation. In the mountain village, Wang Yao received a call from Tong Wei. How are things over there? Are the children all right? They're all right, but I need to stay here for a while. What's wrong? Nothing. Wang Mingbao likes a volunteer teacher here. I also found something special and want to study it here, so I need to stay for a few days. Wang Yao casually told him about Wang Mingbao. He didn't mean to keep it a secret. You are really my brother, Wang Mingbao said helplessly. Is he next to you? Hello, sister-in-law. Hello. Don't worry. I will keep an eye on him. I will never let him fool around outside. Wang Mingbao shouted into the phone. That's good. Tong Wei smiled like a flower on the other end of the phone. But then again, when can we solve the problem here? Wang Mingbao said with a cigarette in his mouth. Didn't you say you don't care? I have been eating steamed buns and cabbage these days. I am tired of them. I need meat. Why don't I kill one of the sheep you used for the experiment and roast it or stew it? Wang Mingbao asked. Bear with it. Wang Yao rolled his eyes. Thud. A policeman outside the village collapsed. He vomited and had diarrhea. He was also infected. Not good. Originally, the police and armed police who were responsible for carrying out this task were on tenterhooks, afraid that they would be infected. Now that this situation had happened, they were very worried. After all, the body was the capital of revolution. Everyone only had one life. Some people began to find reasons to go back. They came up with all kinds of reasons to ask for leave. Their children were sick, their wives were giving birth, and their parents were hospitalized. When the leaders saw the situation, they knew that things were going out of control, so they came up with the idea of rotating shifts. Of course, these were all off-topic. The province and the city had made important instructions on this matter and were paying attention to it. The people who were really stressed were the medical experts. Their task was to find a way to cure the disease. The experts in Jing were already on their way. They got the news. That night, Han Jia fell ill. Wang Mingbao, who heard the news, was anxious. He took Wang Yao to the school dormitory where she was staying. Hurry up and take a look at her. Wang Yao gave her a checkup and found that she was sick. I'll boil some medicine and see how it works. He used the herbs that he had taken from the well and mixed them with some of the medicines that he had saved up. Seeing Wang Mingbao's anxious look, Wang Yao comforted him. Don't worry, she will be fine. How could she get sick all of a sudden? Don't worry, Han Jia said with a smile. At this time, she felt weak, sore, and nauseous. Well, she needs to rest now. You go back first. I'll stay here with her, Wang Mingbao said. Okay, call me if you need anything. Wang Yao left alone. On the way back, he thought a lot. The matter here had to be solved as soon as possible. He could start with the water plants and trees and consider extracting the effective ingredients in short time. However, this matter obviously couldn't wait for the so-called experts. He thought for a long time and called Chen Buiyuan. What? Bing Zhou, what are you going to do there? Epidemic? How come I don't know about it? Okay, I'll tell the news to Madam right away. Soon, Chen Buiyuan called back. Someone will go over to contact you tomorrow. Okay. That night, the experts from Jing came to Shangjuan and held a meeting to discuss. The next day, one of them proposed to go to the mountain village to have a look. Professor Chun, we've been there, but we didn't find anything useful, Long Yang said. He knew Professor Chen very well. He was an internal medicine expert and an expert in infectious diseases. Let's go and have a look again. He was an authority in this field. Since he insisted on going, he naturally had to go. The next day, a car drove into the mountain village. The first thing the expert from Jing did after entering the mountain village was not to go to the cemetery, but to find Wang Yao. Hello, I'm Chen Jingji. Wei Yuan asked me to come and find you. Chapter 398. Hello, Wang Yao said. Can I have a word with you? Chen Jingji knew a little about the person in front of him, but he didn't know why he was there. Sure, Wang Yao said. The conversation between the two of them was relatively secret. These are two plants I got from the village. They have an obvious therapeutic effect on diseases. I've tested them on sheep. Wang Yao gave Chen Jingji the water plants he got from the well and the leaves of the plants on the tomb. Okay, I'll deal with them as soon as possible. Thank you. Chen Jingji knew the importance of these two things. Is there anything else? When can we leave? I'll do it as soon as possible, Chen Jingji said. Thank you. You're welcome, Wang Yao said. The accompanying staff was very curious. It was said that Professor Chen came from Jing. He was an expert in internal medicine and infectious diseases. He was very famous in the field. He was much better than Dr. Long. How did he know the people in the village? Although he was confused, he hid it deep in his heart. After Chen Jingji arrived, he just found Wang Yao and said a few words. He took a bag of things from Wang Yao and then left. Professor Chen went there just to see a person. His actions in the village must have been followed by someone. Yes. Which person? A person named Wang Yao. He's not a local. He's from another place. I know Wang Yao, Dr. Long said. Oh, he's a doctor? He came here to see the children in the village primary school. See the children? So, the people in the village have been infected with the disease for a long time? Yes, but the strange thing is that the children have recovered, Dr. Long said. They've recovered? The official who talked to Dr. Long was very surprised. Yes. What about their blood? Dr. Long asked. It has been collected, but we still need time to determine the specific components that are working, Dr. Long said. The higher-ups attach great importance to this matter, Dr. Long said. We're trying our best, Dr. Long said. I've also developed a Chinese medicine prescription. It's being tested. Good. If we can develop a medicine to control the disease in a short time, Dr. Long, you will take the first credit. I'll report it to the higher-ups. Thank you very much. Just like that, the prescription provided by Wang Yao changed its creator in the blink of an eye. Most importantly, it was said so openly. Some people were really thick-skinned. In the mountain village, while the bonfire was burning, a chicken was roasted until it was golden brown and emitted the aroma of a human being. Who's the person who came today? Wang Mingbao looked at the chicken with a cigarette in his mouth. A medical expert from Beijing. Why are you here? I was the one who looked for him. The seaweed and leaves have ingredients that can treat this disease. It's appropriate to give them to him. Who knows, he might be able to research the corresponding medicine quickly, Wang Yao said. Chicken is not as delicious as mutton. Love really makes people stupid. What does that have to do with what we're talking about? What does this have to do with chicken and mutton? However, the grilled chicken still tasted good, especially after Wang Yao used some special seasonings, which made the taste even better. Yummy. Bing Zhou. What? Impossible? Why? If they're not sick, why are they still there? Who can guarantee that the disease doesn't have an incubation period? If they're allowed to leave and bring the virus to other places, who will take responsibility? Chen Jingji found the local department. He hoped to move the people who were not infected out of the village and only leave the infected people. In fact, the epidemic had been relatively effectively controlled. The next thing to do was to quickly develop the medicine. After hearing that, Chun Jingji didn't argue with the local department too much. This matter was originally arranged by that person. He just did his best and reported the results. I see. Chen Buiyuan's face didn't look particularly good after hearing that. He didn't tell his wife about this matter. He just hoped that it could be done through his own connections. Obviously, the local people didn't cooperate. They were also afraid to take the risk. After all, there was a lesson learned from the previous case. Troublesome. It's no trouble at all, Wang Yao said with a smile as he looked at the old man lying on the Kong. Did he also get the infection? No. In the evening, after dinner, the village secretary suddenly came to Gong Aigua's house. He was very anxious and wanted to ask Gong Aigua to see a patient. When he arrived at Gong Aigua's house, it turned out that the 80-year-old father of the village secretary was ill. This made him very anxious. Now the situation in the village was very bad. Many people were ill. His father was too old. If he contracted the vomiting and diarrhea at this time, it was still a question whether his body could hold on, so he hurried to find Gong Aigua. What's the matter? It's just a common cold, Wang Yao said with a smile. A cold? Yes, the old man is a little weak because of his age. You can boil some ginseng soup to nourish his body. He needs to rest more and eat more good food. Okay, thank you. Well, Wang Yao still wanted to say something, but he swallowed the words that were about to come out of his mouth. After coming out, Wang Mingbao asked, "What's wrong? I saw that you had something to say just now." "That old man can't live for more than a month," Wang Yao said. "What? Didn't you just say that he was fine?" "Did I say that?" Wang Yao said seriously. "Well, it seems that you really didn't." Wang Mingbao carefully recalled what he had just said in the village secretary's house. Wang Yao did not say that the old man was fine. He just asked him to rest more and eat more good food. What patients were most afraid of was the doctor's words. "Let's just eat what we need." This was usually a euphemism. What you have is a terminal illness. It can't be cured. Take it easy. What kind of illness does he have? I said it's a cold. Damn, don't joke around. Can a cold kill? What era is this? Wang Mingbao said. A cold can kill people. The old man is a lamp that has run out of oil. It's natural aging. This is the law of nature. No one can resist it. Wang Yao had specially checked the old man's condition when he was treating him. His current condition was that his body was failing. It was natural aging. It was the same as Guo Sairu's grandfather's condition in Jing. The prolongation pill could prolong his life, but it could only prolong it. There's no way. There's no way. I'm not a god, Wang Yao said. There's no way. Go back to sleep. Then, they really went back to sleep. On this day, some people couldn't sleep. In Jia County, a patient died. All the experts rushed over after hearing the news. What's going on? Didn't they say that it was under control? Didn't they say that they had found a way? Well, we don't know what's going on either. The analysis and autopsy were carried out overnight. Kidney, liver, and heart failure. How could this be? No one understood. This sudden change caused everyone's heart to be shrouded in dark clouds. The epidemic was scary. Of course it was scary. What was more scary was the large-scale spread. People died. Now, a large-scale spread had not occurred, but people had indeed died. If there was one dead person, there would be a second one. The pressure they were facing was as great as a mountain. Chun Jingji did not sleep in the guest room. There was a large pile of information on the table beside the bed. It was all the information about the epidemic that had just occurred in the county. He had just returned from the county hospital. He had also read the condition of the dead patient. The problem was very tricky. Time was tight. The number of deaths had to be controlled. Otherwise, it would cause a lot of panic. He had participated in the control of the epidemic last time. The danger was far from what outsiders could imagine. The next day, the sun rose as usual. It was quite bright, but a considerable number of people were in a bad mood. The leaves are effective. Wang Yao stared at the sheep that was eating the leaves happily. How can the things inside be extracted? This requires special equipment. By the way, why aren't you by Han Jia's side? She's already recovered. She has to teach the children. She's still teaching at this time. She has to cultivate good habits. Rain or shine, Wang Yao said. Chapter 399. That day, a piece of news suddenly appeared on the internet. There was an epidemic somewhere in Qinzhou, and some people had died. Both Qinzhou and Bingzhou were very strict about the epidemic situation. The news was strictly prohibited from spreading. However, the news appeared on the internet, which suddenly made them very passive. Who released the news? The leader was angry. In fact, paper could not cover fire. In the age of the internet, a little bit of news would spread quickly. Because of the lack of correct guidance, a considerable part of the news would be erroneous. In the end, it would become completely inconsistent with the facts. Therefore, appropriate control and guidance were necessary. Although Wang Yao and the others were confined in the mountain village, it did not mean that they did not know what was happening outside. They still had mobile phones. There was also wireless internet in the world. Wow, the outside world is very exciting. Wang Mingbao's expression and tone were as if the world was not in chaos. I found that you have changed since you found your sweetheart, Wang Yao said. Really? Hey, isn't Dr. Long the guy who was dressed like a tin can the other day? He actually said that he had developed a drug. Could it be the prescription you gave him? Wang Yao's eyes narrowed slightly. It was really possible. I have seen shameless people, but I have never seen such a shameless person. He's already so old. Even if he doesn't think for himself, he has to think for his descendants, Wang Mingbao said. What do you mean? He has done such a wicked thing. Will his son not have a asterisk asterisk? Look at his age. Oh, illegitimate son or grandson. You think too much. Wang Yao picked up a bench and went to the yard. What's so interesting about this day? Wang Mingbao lay on the Kong and continued to look at his mobile phone. Hey, you don't say. This sanctimonious look. TSK, TSK, TSK. In the mobile phone video, Dr. Long was seriously reporting the epidemic in Jia County in front of the reporters. Oh, he looks very upright, but he does things worse than scum. TSK, TSK. Is the bad guy getting old? It was going to rain. Wang Yao stared at the sky and said softly, Rain? Wang Mingbao, who was carrying a stool out of the house, happened to hear what he said. Yes, it's good that it's raining. I can sleep. Aren't you going to see Han Jia? Go to sleep after seeing her. Wang Yao felt that Wang Mingbao had changed a lot. The hot-blooded man who once put his heart on his career and vowed to create a career was going to be lost in the land of gentleness. That's good too, he said with a smile. Of course, this is the will of the heavens. The conversation between the two people was absolutely incoherent. Can people die from this disease? Drinking cold water can kill people. This disease actually has a certain risk, Wang Yao said very seriously. Then why is it so easy for you to treat him? Relaxed. What makes you think I'm relaxed? It's as simple as taking the pulse and boiling the medicine. Then he'll be fine. Isn't that easy? That's easy? Isn't it easy? Wang Yao was speechless. These are all just instilled by the system. It's the accumulation of daily life. It's rare licorice roots. Wait, it seems that what he said is reasonable. Wang Yao, and he did not dwell on this matter too much. What he cared about now was when the epidemic would end and whether the water plants and leaves he sent out could be used effectively. It would be difficult to extract the effective ingredients in a short time. It would take a long time, even with the most advanced technology. It was just like foreigners who had studied more than one prescription of Chinese medicine and tried to analyze the useful ingredients in it and then extract them. However, without exception, they all failed. What was Chinese medicine? It was the balance of yin and yang, the mutual generation of the 5 elements, and the meridians and acupoints. It was something that foreigners could not understand at all. It was more than 1,000 years earlier than Western medicine. Unfortunately, there was a gap in the middle, and then it declined. Maybe I could try to cultivate it on a large scale in a short time. In fact, the water plants grew very fast. Although it was not like leeks that would grow again after being cut, it was almost the same. It's time to go back. He said such a sentence for no reason. Now that the situation was a bit big and too messy, he felt that it was useless to continue to stay there. The wind and rain outside would naturally be blocked by the big shots. in this small village. They should be fine, right? As a result, there was an accident the next morning. Dr. Wang, my wife is going to give birth. What? Wang Yao was stunned. Wang Mingbao was also stunned. Give birth? Wang Yao's voice was slightly trembling. Yes, go and have a look. You know about obstetrics and gynecology? Wang Mingbao looked at Wang Yao in surprise. Needless to say, Wang Yao did know a little. After all, the knowledge instilled by the system was quite systematic and comprehensive. No, Wang Yao shook his head. Knowing about obstetrics and delivering a child were two completely different things. Oh, you scared me. I thought you really knew about it. What should we do? Go to the hospital. But the people outside won't let us go. The man cried. What? Wang Yao narrowed his eyes. A gust of wind blew. What is this? Hearing such news, it was no doubt that it made people quite excited. Wang Yao took a deep breath. At this time, it was useless to be angry. What he should do was to find a way to solve the problem. I'll think of a way. He then made a phone call. It was Chun Jingji on the other end of the phone. What, a pregnant woman? Yes, it's the expected date of delivery. She should be about to give birth, but the armed police and the police here will not let her go out. I'm sure she is not infected with the virus, Wang Yao said. I'll think of a way. Hurry. Okay. After hanging up the phone, Chun Jingji frowned. He had encountered such a situation before. In fact, there were many inside stories about the epidemic that were known to the public. How's my wife? At this time, Wang Yao was in the man's house. Wang Yao had just diagnosed the woman lying on the bed. She's about to give birth. Oh, what should I do? He was sweating and pacing back and forth in the house. According to the situation, if he could not get the approval, he would have to deliver the child in the village. What era was it now? Who would give birth in their own home? Even if they wanted to give birth, there was no one in the village who could deliver the child. This could cost someone their life. The man had no choice. He ran out and kowtowed to God. Thud, thud. Damn, isn't this nonsense? Wang Yao sat by the bed. His fingers did not leave the arm of the middle-aged woman lying on the bed. This was not the first time the woman was pregnant. In fact, she was now close to 40 years old. Pregnancy and childbirth at this age were quite dangerous. Her current situation was not optimistic. She's about to give birth. This was Wang Yao's judgment. His judgment was not far from the truth. He did not know how Chun Jingji was handling it. Wang Yao did not get up. He reached into his pocket and took out a white porcelain bottle. He poured out a pill from it. Give it to her. Okay. The pregnant woman's family hurriedly took the pill and gave it to her. This was the 9 herbs pill refined by Wang Yao. Its effect was extraordinary. I hope it's effective. In fact, it was indeed effective. The woman who had been suffering from severe stomachache soon felt a warmth in her abdomen after taking the pill. The pain before giving birth seemed to be alleviated. This pill was really effective. What kind of medicine is this? Wang Mingbao asked curiously. 9 herbs pill. Is it to protect the baby? Wang Yao took a deep breath after hearing that. No. Then why did you give it to her? Wang Yao carefully stared at Wang Mingbao for a while. What's wrong? I suspect that you're fake. Fake? What's fake? The Wang Mingbao I know has never been so long-winded. Long-winded? When was I long-winded? Wang Mingbao was stunned. Chapter 400. After confirming that the pregnant woman was fine, Wang Yao and Wang Mingbao left the room. She's fine for the time being. Let's go out and let her rest. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Wang. The man kept thanking Wang Yao. You're welcome. Don't agitate her for the time being. Let her lie down. Okay. The man hurried into the room to ask his wife how she was. How do you feel, mother? I'm fine. My stomach doesn't hurt anymore. It's warm and comfortable. Can you go out and greet Dr. Wang? Okay. You lie down here. Call me if you need anything. Okay. In the yard, Wang Mingbao lit a cigarette. Is she fine? She's fine for the time being. I can't say for sure if it's too long, Wang Yao said. After all, she was about to give birth. To be honest, he didn't expect that the 9 herbs pill he refined would have the effect of protecting the fetus. This surprised him. Wasn't this medicine the same as the regather soup? It was suitable for almost all diseases. Dr. Wang, thank you. You've worked hard. Please have some tea. The man came out of the room with a teapot and teacups. He poured a cup for each of them. The tea was muddy and yellow. It tasted bitter. Thank you, Wang Yao said with a smile. The man let out a long sigh of relief. However, he knew that the problem hadn't been solved. It was fine for the time being, but it wouldn't be a problem for a long time. So, he was still anxious, but there was nothing he could do. There were armed police and police outside. He couldn't rush over alone. He wanted to shout in the village, but there was no midwife in the village. Sigh, what kind of time was this? He was helpless. He was in a bad mood. They should be on their way here, right? Wang Yao whispered. What did you say? The ambulance. Wang Yao smiled. They won't come, Wang Mingbao said. When he said this, there was an indescribable loneliness in his eyes. During this mission in the mountain village, he had indeed seen things that he had never seen before. The truth of the world, the warmth and coldness of the world, helplessness and powerlessness. This was what Wang Yao felt at this moment. Sure enough, his ability was still limited. A person was not omnipotent. There would always be some things that could not be solved. I'm a little tired, Wang Yao suddenly said. Then I'll sleep for a while. Let's wait a little longer. An hour and a half later, an ambulance arrived outside the village. What? Picking up a patient? Are you kidding me? The police and armed police in charge of the quarantine mission were very surprised. Soon, they received a call from the higher-ups, which made them even more confused. Why are we taking a pregnant woman with us? What if she gets infected? What? It's really here. The man was about to cry because of this sudden surprise. He's really here? All right, go back and have a rest. Wang Yao turned around and left. He didn't know how much effort Chen Jingji had put into this matter, but as a medical worker, saving lives was his duty. But in today's society, it was already. Wang Yao really went to rest. He lay on the Kong bed. Is he really going to sleep? In fact, he wouldn't feel tired if he didn't sleep for several days and nights. But today, he didn't know why his mind was a little sleepy. He lay on the Kong bed, but he couldn't sleep. He was thinking about some messy things in his mind. He was thinking about the water plants, the children in the village, the old man who was about to die, and the pregnant woman who had already been in the ambulance. These things kept flashing in his mind like a slideshow. It was so messy. Sleep. He didn't know how long it had been, but he really fell asleep. He really fell asleep. Wang Mingbao came in with a cigarette in his mouth and found that Wang Yao was really asleep on the bed. Sleeping is good too. Sigh, forget it. I'll go find Teacher Han. After saying that, he went out and walked in the direction of the school in Jia County. Professor Chun, why do you insist on saving this person? The two people who came with Chun Jingji were very confused about what he was doing. They came here to solve the problem. They would communicate with the local medical department and deal with it, but it was better to avoid trouble as much as possible. Chun Jingji's behavior should be very difficult for the medical department here. It was easy to say that they had rescued a pregnant woman from the source of the epidemic, but the risks involved were obvious. Chun Jingji didn't speak. He quietly looked out of the window. He received a phone call in the morning. It was an unexpected phone call. There was only one sentence on the other end of the phone. What request does Wang Yao have? Try your best to meet it. It wasn't try my best. It was try my best. He was very surprised by the big shot's phone call. He had heard rumors about the young doctor in Jing. It seemed that it was true. He was really a distinguished guest. Since the boss had said so, he naturally had to do his best, but it was still difficult. Although the people in the medical department in Qinzhou were respectful to him on the surface and held him high, when it came to some issues of principle, especially when it was related to some people's hats, they would reject and hide as much as they could. As the saying went, if it didn't concern them, they wouldn't care. Even if it concerned their lives, as long as it didn't belong to them, what did it matter? Sigh. Chun Jingji sighed. He also felt a little powerless. In the afternoon, the setting sun hung on the cliff and was about to set. These two goats have lost weight. Yes, they're a little thin. It will be late if you don't eat now. Bah! Give up your unrealistic ideas. Wang Yao was still observing the two goats. He wanted to determine the effect of the medicine and the dosage. I will go to the well. Why? Water plants. What are you going to do? Give 6 things to the village. He suddenly thought of something. Then he jumped into the sealed well and rushed out without a drop of water on his body. Wang Mingbao was not so surprised after seeing this once. Then he saw Wang Yao put the water plants in a water tank. My brain is not working very well recently, Wang Yao said to himself. Wang Mingbao was stunned. What do you mean? Why did you think of it so late? Then he picked up a bucket of water. Wait, is there something wrong with my eyes? Wang Mingbao rubbed his eyes hard. There was only a little water left in the bucket just now. How could it suddenly be full? Did I remember it wrong? Or is there something else? Splash. The sound of flowing water. The water that Wang Yao poured was not ordinary water, but ancient spring water. He wanted to use the ancient spring water to grow the water plants. What do you want to do? Grow the water plants. I think you should take a nap, said Wang Mingbao after a short pause. Sure, it's okay. I'm fine now. You don't have to worry. This method should have been thought of long ago, but it was not done for 2 days. Sometimes some things and some methods were clearly in front of them, but they could not be seen after a few rounds. Wang Mingbao did not stop his brother. Instead, he looked at the bucket of water next to him. I remember that the bucket was empty just now, right? Huh? Wang Yao was stunned. Yes. Then, why was it suddenly full when I brought it here? Do you want to know? Yes, of course. Here. Wang Yao took the bucket and shook it in front of Wang Mingbao's eyes. Then, the empty bucket was filled with half of the water in an instant. Is it really water? Wang Mingbao bent down and took a sip. It was very sweet. Damn, what is this? Wang Mingbao was stunned again. You've seen big changes before, right? I just changed it into water. This is too miraculous. After a long while, he finally managed to utter these words. Wang Yao smiled. It only took a day for the water plants to grow a lot. The water plants could be boiled and drunk. Then, it could be seen as the simplest version of the vaccine. The next day, after only one night, the water plants grew a lot. It's effective. He began to boil the water in a big pot to boil the water plants. Just this? Let the whole village drink it? The secretary was a little confused. Yes. What effect can it have? It can prevent the disease from spreading. It also has a therapeutic effect. Okay, I'll arrange it right away. After hearing Wang Yao's words, the secretary quickly took action. For them, the most terrible thing was the disease. Chapter 401. What is this? Why does it have such a smell? Medicine. What medicine? The medicine prescribed by Dr. Wang can prevent the disease. The villagers began to go to the queue to get the medicine. The mountain village was not big, but there were still hundreds of people. There was a big pot with steam coming out of it. It was the seaweed. In fact, some people did not need to get the medicine. After getting sick, their bodies should have developed antibodies. Does the medicine work? It works. Dr. Wang has experimented on sheep. The sheep that seem to be dying are now alive and kicking, Wang Yao said. Really? Then can I still coax you? In Jia County, we need to draw blood from the recovered patients, Dr. Wang said. It will be very helpful for us to develop the antiviral serum. This was Dr. Long's suggestion. Then draw blood from the patients who have recovered in the hospital. In fact, Dr. Long had already done this. He just mentioned it here. Okay, Dr. Long, I have to thank you this time. The medicine you provided is quite effective. It's my pleasure, Dr. Long said with a smile. The prescription he used was the one provided by Wang Yao. Who is that young man? How can he be so capable? Professor Chun, Dr. Long's prescription is indeed effective, Dr. Long said. When did he take out the prescription? Chun Jingji was talking with his assistant in the temporarily arranged office. I heard it was after he went to the mountain village. Oh, so that's how it is. Chun Jingji instantly understood. He did not take out the prescription before. After going to the mountain village, he suddenly had the prescription. The prescription should not be his. Ah, people have to be shameless, Chun Jingji said with a sigh. You mean Dr. Long? Oh, nothing. What about the seaweed and leaves? I have asked someone to expand the cultivation of the seaweed. It is easy to grow. As long as it has the right temperature and nutrients, it will grow very fast. We have also experimented on the patients on the mountain. The effect is very good. That's good. At least they saw hope. Professor Chun, how did someone know that the seaweed and leaves can resist the virus? An expert, master? In a mountain village, the big pot was still steaming. But this time, the thing inside had changed. It had turned into delicious mutton. The aroma assailed the nostrils. Uncle, what are you doing? Hey, you guys have been busy in the village these days, and you don't want any reward. Killing a sheep is what we should do, the old party secretary said. He liked these two young people very much. He didn't ask for anything in return, but he gave wholeheartedly. Therefore, in the morning, he slaughtered one of his family's sheep and cooked it in a big pot. Uncle, we might be preparing to go back in 2 days. How can you go back? The people outside won't let you go, the old party secretary said. We'll think of something, Wang Yao said. Well, okay. Come here often in the future. The old party secretary lowered his head and took a few puffs of the cigarette before saying heartily. After all, he was an outsider. He had a family and a career. He had already stayed here for so many days and contributed so much to their village. There was nothing to thank him for. Come, let me give you a toast. The old man raised his wine glass. I don't dare. Wang Yao hurriedly shook his head. The old man drank a lot and said a lot. Wang Yao listened a lot and said well. After another 2 days, the epidemic was basically under control. Dr. Long's medicine had a certain effect. Although it couldn't cure the disease, it could control the deterioration of the disease. A pharmaceutical company had contacted him and wanted to buy his prescription at high price. That young man. At this time, Dr. Long was thinking about Wang Yao. Does he know other recipes? In the pharmaceutical industry, he knew how much profit a new drug could bring and how valuable a prescription was. While he was thinking, his assistant came over. What? Let them go? Who said so? When he heard that the young man was going to leave, he became anxious. It's a call from the higher-ups. From the higher-ups? Where? The provincial government. The provincial government? Just because of him? Dr. Long frowned. In that case, didn't that mean that the young man had a rather unusual relationship? In that case, things had become a little troublesome. I heard it's because of Professor Chun. Dr. Long was a little relieved after hearing that. If it was really him, this matter was not so serious. Although he said that he was from Jing, he wouldn't stay here for long. As the saying went, a strong dragon couldn't suppress a snake in its native place. Moreover, he was not a dragon. Stay? Then he began to walk around. Don't mention this matter again. This was the answer he got from the higher-ups. What's going on? He was a little surprised. The change of the situation surprised him a little. His tone was not an ordinary kind of tough. In the mountain village, Wang Yao's car was full of things. Thank you. Dr. Wang, come and visit more often when you have time. Just treat this place as your home. Okay. Wang Yao responded one by one. The people here were indeed very warm. Let's go. It sounded simple, but in fact, they had undergone a lot of checks, including the system in the car to be sterilized. Who knew whether the car would carry the virus or not? What if it spread all the way? Who would be responsible? At the end of the day, they were the ones who were out of luck. Let's go. Wang Yao looked back at the mountain village and the villagers behind the fence. He was a little disappointed and reluctant to leave. I'll come back to visit when I have time, Wang Yao said. Well, me too, Wang Mingbao said. Aren't you going to accompany your good teacher inside? Why did you suddenly change your mind? Ms. Han asked me to leave. Speaking of this matter, Wang Mingbao was a little disappointed. Why? She didn't tell me the reason. You left after she asked you to leave? Yes. Rather than making her unhappy here, it's better to leave. Anyway, I'll come back. By the way, I also got a piece of news, an exciting news. What? Her ex-boyfriend went abroad. Speaking of this matter, Wang Mingbao's face was full of excitement. What ex-boyfriend? It's her former lover. That's her boyfriend, Wang Mingbao said. I'm here. I am. Wang Mingbao's words were very domineering and unreasonable. You're so shameless. Of course, Wang Mingbao said. Squeak. Gudong. The car suddenly braked, and Wang Mingbao suddenly hit the windshield. What's going on? There was a car in front of the road, and a person was standing under the car. The key was that the car was at a corner where there was a visual blind spot. Why did he put the car in the middle of the road and make such a pose? Does he want to die? Wang Mingbao suddenly became angry. Wait, that person looks familiar. Hey, is he that old stick with the surname Long? Hit him to death. Wang Mingbao said subconsciously. He's so old. How many days can he live? Wang Yao opened the car door and said this sentence. His voice was very loud, as if he was afraid that Dr. Long, who was not far away, could not hear him. Dr. Long was speechless. He almost died of anger. Hey, a good dog doesn't block the road. Hurry up and get out of the way. Wang Mingbao said angrily. Wang Yao, right? Dr. Long coughed and squeezed a smile on his face. Yes, I've tried the prescription you gave me last time. It's very effective. I've recommended it to the higher-ups. You also have a part to play in it, Dr. Long said with a smile. Wang Yao did not say anything. It's like this. The leaders of Jia County specially asked me to come and invite you to express their gratitude to you, Dr. Long said. Really? Of course, Dr. Long said very sincerely. Then let's go. Lead the way. Huh? Wang Mingbao and Dr. Long were stunned at the same time. He actually agreed. Okay. After that, he smiled and got into the car to lead the way. No, what do you mean? He's obviously up to no good. I know, Wang Yao said softly. Then why are you still going? Dr. Long asked. I want to see what he wants to do, Wang Yao said. Also, that prescription is not something that can be easily taken away by him. Did this old man in his 50s really think they were fools? They had already seen the relevant rumors on the internet. This shameless old man not only took the credit, but also didn't mention anything about Wang Yao at all. Furthermore, he took the prescription for himself. He was even in negotiations with a very famous domestic company. It was said that this small prescription could be sold at a high price of up to 1,000,000 yuan. Director Long really brought them to the most luxurious hotel in Jia County. There is really a banquet. Dr. Long was not the only one who came. There were really leaders of Jia County. They were all leaders of the health department. Come, please sit. Dr. Long was very enthusiastic. Serve the dishes, the best dishes. The dishes were served quickly. As for whether they were the best, it was not known. Wine was served together with the dishes. After some introductions, Dr. Long sat in the main seat and started the banquet. The people who were invited by Dr. Long did not know who the two young men were, but they knew that Dr. Long was from the province. Naturally, they would be invited. At the banquet table, Dr. Long began to serve the wine first. Then he began to chat. Slowly, he changed the topic to Wang Yao and Wang Mingbao. Where were they from and what did they do? Which professor did Dr. Wang learn from? Dr. Long asked. Self-taught, Wang Yao said with a smile. Oh, Dr. Long was quite surprised. That's really a talent. Dr. Long picked up his chopsticks and put a mouthful of food into his mouth. He carefully refused. Come, let me toast to Dr. Wang to show my gratitude. You're welcome. Wang Yao smiled and drank some water. Dr. Wang, I don't know if you have a similar prescription. I am willing to buy it at a high price. The fox's tail was exposed. Hearing this, Wang Yao completely understood why Dr. Long invited him. Dr. Long, yes. You are really shameless, Wang Yao said very calmly. The atmosphere of the banquet suddenly became very awkward. Chapter 402. He didn't expect Wang Yao to be so direct. He didn't give him any face at all. There was a kind of person in the world who thought they were smart and everyone else was a fool. Don't treat others like pigs. If you did, you would be the fool. Because of Wang Yao's words, the atmosphere at the table suddenly became cold, although the dishes were still steaming hot. Dr. Long's face was gloomy. It had been a long time since anyone dared to talk to him like this. Even in the province, he was an expert. Some leaders of the health department were also polite to him. At least, they had to give him face. Believe it or not, I can send you back or isolate you directly. Wow, I'm so scared. Wang Mingbao's face was full of fear. Dr. Long, right? You are already an expert in the province, and you are so old. Don't you feel ashamed to be so shameless? Enough. Dr. Long threw the teacup on the table with all his strength. I was kind enough to discuss it with you, but you don't know how to appreciate my kindness. I'm being nice. You've made a fortune recently, haven't you? Did you sell prescription? I think I gave it to you, Wang Yao said calmly. Humph, you gave it to me. Where is the evidence? That's why I said I was too naive. I didn't expect you to be so young at heart. You were so evil. I don't have time to bicker with you. Then, Dr. Long said a few words to the people at the table. They were all words of apology, and he would invite them another day. The people at the table were not stupid. They knew what the problem was at first glance. They just responded with a smile. You wait. This was a classic line. When Dr. Long got up and walked to the door, he suddenly fell forward. Someone held him. Thank you. He looked at the person who held him. It was Wang Yao. Old people have bad legs. Be careful when you go down the stairs. It will be bad if you fall down. Dr. Long snorted coldly and turned to leave. Don't forget to pay the bill. Wang Mingbao shouted from behind. Gulp. Crackle. Ah, what was going on? The few people who had just walked down the stairs heard a loud noise behind them. They turned around and saw Chief Long lying on the ground in a posture similar to a white swallow landing on a beach. He was groaning and seemed to be in pain. Nonsense. It must have been painful for anyone to roll down the stairs and land on their face. What's the situation? You didn't drink much? The few of them were stunned at first, then subconsciously looked up. There was no one at the staircase. It wasn't those two who kicked him from behind. Then they remembered to help him up. Aya, this is not a light fall. His cheeks had turned purple, and the corners of his mouth were bleeding. Director Long, are you all right? It's fine. Did someone push you from behind? No, I'm fine. Director Long waved his hand. The situation just now was really too strange. He was about to go down the stairs, but in the end, he tripped and fell down in confusion. Then slowed down. AI. Gulp. Crackle. Ah. They were dumbfounded. What was going on? Just now, they were still supporting Chief Long, but when he went down another flight of stairs, he fell down uncontrollably again. Did he fall down again? Did you do this? Wang Mingbao had a cigarette in his mouth. He looked down at Chief Long, who had fallen down like a pig, and was very happy. Can you find time to teach me this? You won't be able to learn it, Wang Yao said with a smile. Director Long, do you want me to take you to the hospital? At this time, Chief Long only felt dizzy and saw stars. This time he was still upside down, but his posture was different. One of his teeth was knocked out, and blood was flowing out. Please take me to the hospital. Hey, slow down. Gulp. Chief Long fell down again. Fortunately, this time, someone supported him. He did not have the most intimate contact with the ground. What's going on? Not only were the others surprised, but even Chief Long was secretly surprised. He felt the situation was a bit strange. Why did he feel that his legs were out of control? It was as if they were not his legs. Let's go. Hello, please pay the bill. Before Chief Long left, he was stopped by the waiter at the door. At this time, a voice came from behind. It was Wang Mingbao with a cigarette in his mouth. Hey, you really haven't paid the bill. How shameless. You want to eat and dash? This is Chief Long, an expert in the province. TSK, TSK. The dishes just now were delicious, right? Chief Long felt his heart was beating faster and his blood pressure was rising. He had an impulse to beat someone up. Chief Long, let's go. In the end, he was very rational. He suppressed his anger and left after paying the bill. Let's go. We have to go no matter what, Wang Yao said. He was not afraid of Chief Long, but there was no need for him to stay. Moreover, it was not time for Chief Long to regret. Their car wanted to leave, but they were stopped before they left the city. The reason was that they were suspected of being infected and had to be quarantined for investigation. This old man, Wang Mingbao, was angry. Well, it's not surprising. What should we do? Follow the rules. Wang Yao's car was detained. Then they were arranged to be in an observation area. In fact, there were not many people there. There were also people who were sick. Damn, when I get out, I'll throw a black stone at him. Don't worry, he'll come back to us. In the hospital in Jia County. Chief Long, there will be no problem. Okay, thank you. The external injuries on his body were treated. The tooth repair could not be done in one time. Moreover, he did not plan to do it in Jia County. After getting up, he still felt a little dizzy. He did not know why this suddenly happened, but he did not plan to let go of the anger he suffered at the table. Therefore, he called. With his current status, he said that someone might be infected with a disease that was under control and needed to be quarantined for investigation. Naturally, no one doubted his words. He was going to go back to rest. He had just taken a few steps out of the door. Thump! He lost control of his body and fell down. Fortunately, he reacted quickly this time. He directly supported his body with his hands. What's wrong? He was now a little panicked. There were more people in the hospital recently. There were many people in the corridor. Some of them were pointing at him. He felt that his face was burning. No one wanted to make a fool of himself in public. However, he could not keep lying on the ground. He stood up and slowly walked forward. He held the wall and walked forward like a weak old man. Something miraculous, or rather, terrifying, happened again. He tripped again. This time, he reacted quickly enough to hold on to the back of a chair. What's going on? His face turned from red to pale. He was a doctor, a professional. Faced with what happened to him, he thought of many possibilities, each of which was terrible. Why did this happen? He had just had a physical examination not long ago. Until now, he still did not think of Wang Yao. Well, it's actually completed. At this time, Wang Yao, who was quarantined, received unexpected good news. He had completed one of his tasks. Task: spread your voice thousands of miles away. Within a month, thousands of miles away. This was an unexpected coincidence. Thank you, he said to Wang Mingbao, who was next to him. Well, what's going on? He did not expect Wang Yao to suddenly thank him. Thank me for what? Bringing you here and being quarantined? No, I've gained a lot from this trip, said Yu Futian. Oh, you're talking about this. Wang Mingbao smiled. This is nothing. Task: famous doctor. Within 4 months, become a recognized famous doctor within a 100-mile radius. Task reward: a bag of medicinal herb seeds. Follow-up tasks will start. If the task fails, any attribute points will be reduced by 10%. After the first mission was completed, a new one came. This time, the mission was longer and the concept of the mission was more vague. Was the boundary of a famous doctor. Double recognition among the people and the government. Double recognition? Wang Yao was stunned. He could understand the recognition among the people. It should be the so-called reputation. However, what did the government mean? Was there a special famous doctor certification in the county? Chapter 403. Hearing Wang Yao talking to himself, Wang Mingbao asked, "What are you talking about? Are there any famous doctors in our county?" Wang Yao asked almost subconsciously. Famous doctors? Wang Mingbao was stunned. Why do you ask? Aren't you one? I'm not. I know it's the official kind. The official kind? Do you mean the so-called experts in the hospital who take turns to show on the electronic screen, or those who are posted on the wall? Well, no, it's the kind that has been selected by the officials. Well, I don't know. Why do you suddenly ask about this? I'm just curious. Let's ask Pan Jun when we go back. Okay. The two of them were locked in the ward and were guarded outside. They felt like prisoners under house arrest. I don't feel good. Let's wait for a while. I think someone will come to pick us up soon. Pick us up? Who? Dr. Long. Well, he should have noticed something by now, right? Wang Yao said. Dr. Long did notice that something was wrong because he found that he couldn't control his legs after taking a few steps. His body was about to fall, which scared him to death. However, he was an old man who had seen many storms. After he calmed down, he called his assistant over and brought a wheelchair with him. Dr. Long, what's wrong with you? His assistant was shocked to see him like this. They hadn't seen each other for a day. How did his face become swollen and bruised? It was as if he had been beaten up with a sack over his head. Most importantly, he looked very haggard. It was as if he had aged 2 or 3 years. Let's talk about it outside. Okay. With the help of his assistant, he sat in the wheelchair and got into the car. Where are we going, Dr. Long? Bingzhou. Okay. He had to figure out what had happened to his body in the shortest time possible. Why did such a problem suddenly occur? As for Wang Yao and Wang Mingbao, who were quarantined in Jia County, he temporarily forgot about them. Ring. Buzz. His cell phone rang. Hello, Dr. Wang. It was Chun Buiyuan on the other end of the phone. Hello. Have you come back from Qinzhou? Not yet. There's a small problem. Wang Yao came to the window and looked outside. No problem. What's wrong? What do you need me to do? Not at the moment. Let's wait a little longer. All right then. After hanging up the phone, Chun Buin paced back and forth in the room and then quickly went out. Professor Chun, I just heard that Wang Yao and his companion seem to have been quarantined. It was Director Long who called. What? Chun Jingji was stunned when he heard the news. You suspect that they're infected? Yes. Bullsh asterisk T. It was already confirmed when we came out. Why are we still quarantining them? Isn't this an obvious abuse of power? There's one more thing. Director Long went to Bing province today. He seems to be sick. Sick? Could he be infected? I don't think so. He went to the county hospital in Jia County today. He kept falling down. He came out in a wheelchair. This kind of news spread very quickly, especially in the health department. Both Director Long and Chun Jingji were famous people. Therefore, their daily activities naturally attracted more attention. Moreover, the news of Director Long in the county hospital was spread by some people who were interested in him. Why did he suddenly go to the hospital? And why is he in a wheelchair? Where are they quarantined? In the quarantine area of Jia County Hospital. Okay, I'll go and have a look. Soon, Chun Jingji saw Wang Yao and Wang Mingbao who were quarantined. I'm sorry. These were the first words he said when he saw Wang Yao. You're not the one who quarantined us. Why are you apologizing? Wang Yao said with a smile. Chun Jingji didn't say anything. He quickly contacted the relevant personnel and signed the papers himself. Wang Yao and Wang Mingbao were released from the quarantine room. Thank you. Afterward, Chun Jingji invited Wang Yao to his temporary office to have a seat. We have tested the seaweed you gave us. It does have a considerable therapeutic effect, and we have begun to cultivate it on a large scale. This is a great contribution to the control of the epidemic, Chun Jingji said. He didn't think Wang Mingbao and Wang Yao would be infected with the epidemic because Wang Yao gave him the seaweed. It's good that it's effective. Since they have begun to cultivate it on a large scale, there should be no problem with the epidemic. Can I ask how you found out? Well, it may be a bit long to explain, Wang Yao said with a smile. He briefly explained the reason he came here and how he found out that the well was infected. He then briefly explained how he found the seaweed and other things. I'm sorry. Chun Jingji was silent for a moment after hearing that. Then, he said these two words very seriously. Why are you apologizing again? I'm really sorry this time. I may have misunderstood you before, Chun Jingji said. His words surprised Wang Yao. Misunderstanding? What misunderstanding do you have about me? Let's not talk about that. I admire what you have done, Chun Jingji said. When he said that, Wang Yao was embarrassed. One more thing, Dr. Long provided a prescription that has a good therapeutic effect for the disease. If I'm not wrong, it should be you who provided it, right? Yes. Well, that guy is too shameless. Yes, I also think he is shameless, but he has retribution. Wang Mingbao said. Well, retribution? Yes, after we came out of the mountain village, that shameless old man stopped us halfway and asked us to have a meal. A meal? Chun Jingji was surprised. In an instant, he understood. Did he ask Dr. Wang if there were any other prescriptions? Ah, you are so smart, Wang Mingbao said with a smile. Really? Yes. I underestimated his shamelessness. Chun Jingji said with disgust. Well, it turns out that God can't stand shameless people, so he's a good time. He went to the hospital because he asked you to have a drink? Yes, he came out of the hospital in Jia County in a wheelchair today. A wheelchair? Huh. Wang Mingbao laughed happily. Good, that's great. He couldn't help but applaud. It's a pity that I didn't see him in person and ask him how he felt. I don't think he will recover in a short time, Wang Yao said. What are you going to do with the prescription? Because the prescription was provided by Dr. Long, and he had already said in the media that the prescription was developed by him, he had negotiated with a large pharmaceutical company to determine the price. Now, it was basically impossible for Wang Yao to get the prescription back. He will regret it, Wang Yao said calmly. Hope, if you need my help, just let me know. Thank you. After sitting in Chun Jingji's office for a while, the two of them left. They took the car and went back to their hometown. It's rare to see such a young man. This was Chun Jingji's evaluation of Wang Yao. What? There's no problem? Dr. Long was shocked and scared when he heard the test results. Yes, your body is all normal. How is that possible? Why do I fall down easily when I walk? Well, the doctor didn't know how to answer. Forget it. I'll go to another place. After leaving the hospital, Long Yunfei was very depressed. This was Bingzhou Hospital, which was one of the top hospitals in Qinzhou. Director, why don't you go directly to the provincial hospital? He didn't understand why Long Yunfei didn't go to the provincial hospital, where he could use his connections. Ah, you don't understand. Long Yunfei waved his hand. He was discharged from the provincial hospital and then worked at the Provincial Disease Control Center. He did have some connections there, but he also offended some people. It's more important to see the doctor. Let's go. The sky gradually darkened. The car was on the highway. Do you want to travel at night or find a place to rest for the night? Whatever. Chapter 404. Let's rest for a night, Wang Yao said. They found a place to rest for the night and continued their journey the next day. According to the rules, large trucks and buses were not allowed to go on the highway at a certain time in the evening. Wang Yao chose to rest in this area. There were many people staying there. After parking the car, they found a hotel to stay in. It was a little windy that night. The temperature dropped a lot the next day. Phew, it's a little cold, Wang Yao said. After eating something in the rest area, they continued their journey. The car was driving fast on the highway like a leopard. What the F***CK? That old man. Wang Mingbao searched for Director Long Yunfei on his phone. According to the latest information, this Mr. Long played a leading role in the fight against the epidemic in Shanjuan. He also sorted out a set of very effective treatment obstacles and invented a prescription. He actually applied for a patent for this pharmacy. How shameless. The more Wang Mingbao looked at it, the angrier he got. This matter is over just like that. How could it be? Wang Yao said with a smile. How could it be? Long Yunfei growled in a low voice. According to the test results, there is indeed no problem, Wang Yao said. Then why did I have such a reaction? Long Yunfei tried to walk by himself in the morning. However, after walking for less than 20 steps, he lost control of his legs again. It was as if his body was still his 1 second ago, but the next second, he lost control of his legs. It was amazing. This may be a behavior disorder, Wang Yao said. What behavior disorder? Long, even though medicine is very advanced now, there's still some diseases that can't be detected. This sentence was very true. For example, some people would have a headache, but after going to the hospital to rent a comprehensive examination, they still couldn't find any problem. What should we do? Long Yunfei was dumbfounded. Go to Jing? I have a suggestion. Go ahead. Go to the Chinese medicine department. Chinese medicine? Yes. I've encountered such a situation before. I couldn't detect it, but the disease really existed, so I recommended them to the Chinese medicine department. The effect was quite good. Long Yunfei didn't answer immediately. He has already been transferred. You don't have to worry. If you don't want to go, you can go to the Chinese medicine hospital to have a look. Okay, then I'll go and have a look. Sorry to trouble you, Long Yunfei said. You're welcome. Then, he went to the Chinese medicine department. The doctors there were very surprised when they saw him. Hello, Director Long, hello, who are you? They didn't expect Long Yunfei to come here in a wheelchair. After the examination, they came to the conclusion that he was sick, but the problem was in his waist and abdomen. The specific problem was unknown. Poor qi and blood flow. After hearing this, he felt uncomfortable. Although he studied Western medicine, it didn't mean that he didn't know about traditional Chinese medicine, whose qi and blood were not flowing smoothly, causing their legs to not listen to them. I'm also a professional. Can't you guys give me a more reliable reason? He obviously didn't believe this explanation. This is indeed the result of my diagnosis. The doctor might have noticed that Long Yunfei didn't seem to believe his diagnosis, so he directly said it. As a doctor, he was in a bad mood when he was doubted, so his tone was not very good. Okay, I see, Long Yunfei said coldly. Then, he left with the help of his assistant. After he left, the doctor said with disgust, "He's in a wheelchair, but he still has such a bad temper. What's wrong with him?" A colleague asked. "To be honest, I don't know," the doctor said. Logically speaking, such a small problem didn't seem to cause such a big reaction. His legs didn't listen to him? Qi and blood flow? Meridians? The doctor seemed to think of something. Hey, why was he transferred here in the first place? There's a story behind this. Tell me about it. Okay. On the way back, Wang Yao received a call from Tong Wei. He decided to go to Dao instead. What's wrong with Tong Wei? Nothing. She said she missed me, so I'm going to see her, Wang Yao said with a smile. TSK, 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 I miss Miss Han too. Do you want to get off in front of me? Forget it, Wang Mingbao said with a smile. It was already evening when they arrived at Dao. I'm going to stay at Tong Wei's place for the night. What about you? I'll find a hotel, Wang Mingbao said. I won't disturb your blissful two-person world anymore. After hearing that Wang Yao had come, Tong Wei asked for leave to see Wang Yao. It was a restaurant near the sea. There was a private room with a view of the sea and several exquisite side dishes. Tong Wei listened to Wang Yao calmly talk about the trip to Qinzhou. Are the children okay? They're fine. They're all good, Wang Yao said. What about the guy with the surname Long? He's not well. I guess he's trying to find a way to cure his illness, Wang Yao said with a smile. Is that mountain village so poor? It's very backward, Wang Yao said. Those children are tired. There should be a way to help them, Tong Wei said. I can think about it. After saying that, Wang Yao's eyes lit up. Well, there's a way. What is it? There's no hurry. It's not time yet, he said with a smile. After dinner, the two of them walked along the beach. It was late autumn. In less than half a month, most of the northern areas would be heated up. At this time, the sea breeze was actually a little cold. The wind messed up her hair. The two of them walked quietly. Are you cold? A little. Wang Yao took off his coat and put it on Tong Wei's shoulders. Our company transferred a new person to be in charge. What's wrong? He's French. He has a bad temper, Tong Wei said. Did he give you trouble? No, but I reported to him a few times. He's very strict, Tong Wei said. Not used to it. Not really. If you're not used to it, you can quit. I'll take care of you, Wang Yao said with a smile. After hearing that, Tong Wei stopped and looked back at Wang Yao. Her eyes were gentle and affectionate. Wang Yao smiled faintly. No. Tong Wei pouted her red lips and said naughtily. Haha. Go home. Okay. It was cold all night. The next day, it was frosty outside. Tong Wei had asked for leave, but there was an emergency in the company, so she had to go back to work. Wang Yao went to Sun Jingrong's home. He had come to Dao City to see Sun Yunxing's illness. After receiving Wang Yao's call, Sun Jingrong had been waiting at home. Dr. Wang, welcome. Hello, Mr. Sunday. After exchanging a few pleasantries, Wang Yao went upstairs directly. At this time, Sun Yunxing was practicing meditation in his room. Dr. Wang. He didn't expect Wang Yao to come back. You look well, and you're much more confident. Looking at his complexion and listening to his voice, Sun Yunxing knew he had recovered a lot. Yes, I do feel much better recently. Although I still feel hot from time to time, I can suppress it with my own will, Sun Yunxing said. He could be considered to have started all over again. He had to thank this young doctor, who was about the same age as him. Let me take a look at you again. He checked Sun Yunxing's pulse. The heat toxin is still there. It's rooted deep in the internal organs, Wang Yao said. Then, he asked Sun Yunxing to take off his shirt. Again, he used Neishi to guide a considerable amount of heat toxin out of Sun Yunxing's body. After the treatment, Sun Yunxing's back was red as if he had been whipped by something. It's a pity that I didn't bring any medicine, Wang Yao said. After the treatment, Sun Jingrong and his son chatted with Wang Yao for a while in the living room. You went to Qinzhou? Yes, by chance. Wang Yao briefly mentioned his trip to Qinzhou. Is the village very poor? Sun Jingrong asked. Yes, it's quite poor. The clothes the children wear are quite old. My group has another poor student program. I can help them, Sun Jingrong said. His career had reached such a level that he had begun to think about giving back to society. To put it bluntly, the country had made so much money for him. It was reasonable for him to take out some money to help those in need. It was not necessarily a good thing to be stingy with a net worth of hundreds of millions. Yes, that's great. Write down the address of the village, Wang Yao said. I'll arrange for someone to deal with it. Okay. Wang Yao wrote down the address of the village randomly. He also left the phone number of the old secretary. I thank you on behalf of the children. Ah, it's a small matter, Sun Jingrong said with a smile. It was a small matter for him, but it was a big deal for the village and the children there, even if he only spent some money to buy some books and clothes for them. I'll leave now. You can come to my clinic if you have time, Wang Yao said. Okay. The father and son saw Wang Yao off. Sun Jingrong immediately arranged for people to take action immediately. They went to the village to see what kind of help they needed. On the way back, Wang Yao also considered donating some money or buying some things to help the village. He and Wang Mingbao stayed in Dao for a day. Then they drove back to the village. Why don't you stay here for a few more days? It's not necessary. I've seen the people and said what I needed to say. Besides, I can come whenever I want, Wang Yao said. Yes, it's here. The distance between Dao and Lianshan was not so far. It was not like Jiaxian, which was thousands of miles away. They set off in the morning. It was already afternoon when they arrived in Lianshan. Wang Yao first sent Wang Mingbao back to the store. Then he drove home. When he arrived home, his mother was cooking. Mom, I'm back. He called out. You're back. Zhang Xiaoying put down the kitchen utensils in her hand and greeted him. Even if it was only for a few days, she was still worried about her son. What are these? She looked at the two big bags Wang Yao was carrying. Chapter 405. These were all gifts from the villagers in the mountain village. There were fresh dates, dried dates, millet, walnuts, and so on. They were all common things, but they were full of their thoughts. These are all from the villagers in the mountain village. Really? Well, these dates are good. The millet and walnuts are good too. Having dealt with crops for most of his life, he could tell the quality of these fruits and grains at a glance. Are things going well over there? Not bad, Wang Yao replied with a smile. Where's Dad? He went up the mountain. He's coming down soon. Let me help you. No need. It's such a long way. You must be tired from driving. Wash your face and have a rest. Dinner will be ready soon. Let's eat. Oh, okay. Wang Yao washed his face and helped to clean up the dishes. Not long after, Wang Fenghua came down from the mountain. Dad, you're back. Yes, I just came back. Are things going well over there? It was the same question and the same concern. Quite well. That's good. After a while, dinner was ready. The family ate together. Wang Yao talked about the things in the mountain village in Jia County. After hearing Wang Yao talk about the poor situation in the mountain village, Wang Fenghua said, it's hard to develop the economy there. No matter how good the things in the village are, they can't be transported out. Yes, to get rich, you have to build a road first. This sentence is right. The adults are better, but the children are suffering, Zhang Xiaoying said. Before I came back, I took a detour to Dao City, Wang Yao said. I have already mentioned this matter to Sun Jingrong in Dao City. His group happens to have a poverty alleviation foundation. He agreed to provide some help. He has also sent people to implement it. I plan to donate some money when the time comes. Okay, I agree with this. Wang Fenghua listened. He didn't know how much money his son had, but this kind of thing depended on the attitude first. Okay, Zhang Xiaoying just responded. After dinner, the family sat on the Kong and watched TV. Wang Yao gave his parents a massage to relax their muscles and bones. Such a warm and peaceful family life was very satisfying. By the way, a lot of people came to the village these days. They all came to see you for treatment, Zhang Xiaoying said as she pulled out the peanuts. Got 'em all. I heard that a few of them are government officials, Zhang Xiaoying said. An official? Wang Yao smiled. We still have to wait. He was no longer the student who had just graduated and only knew how to work hard in the mountains. He had traveled thousands of miles and met all kinds of people, including many high-ranking officials and dignitaries. Naturally, his state of mind had changed. Are we still going up the mountain tonight? No, I'll just sleep at home, Wang Yao said. I'll chat with you guys. Deal. That night, the wind outside was gentle. Before 10 o'clock, Wang Yao turned off the lights and went to bed. Tomorrow should be a busy day. The next morning, he woke up very early and practiced martial arts in the courtyard of his house. After breakfast, he said goodbye to his parents and left the house. There were already people in the village preparing to go up the mountain. Uncle, Yao, you're back. Yes. When he met the villagers, he took the initiative to greet them. The clinic stood quietly in the south of the village. The two acacia trees were still lush and had no signs of withering. The wooden door was closed quietly. There was a sign on it that said, "I have something to do. I'm back." He picked up the sign, unlocked the door, and pushed the door open. The scenery in the courtyard was still the same. It was full of green, which was very pleasant. After more than 10 days, Wang Yao cleaned up the room and watered the trees in the courtyard. It looks good. After walking around, he locked the door again and slowly walked toward Nanshan Hill. The sun climbed up in the sky. After walking for a short distance, a mountain stood in front of him. After going around this mountain, there was another mountain. However, looking from afar, the mountain was lush and verdant. The trees were as green as summer. There was no bleak autumn at all. The feeling of returning home, seeing his family, seeing the clinic, and looking at Nanshan Hill was also strong. The mountain also had feelings. One day, without seeing, it was like 3 years. Before reaching the foot of the mountain, he saw a yellow-haired dog running down the mountain. It wagged its tail and came to Wang Yao. "Hello, Sanxian." "Woof, woof, woof." The dog was very happy. It stood up and licked Wang Yao with its tongue. "Wow, you seem to have grown taller." Wang Yao played with the dog for a while. Then he went up the mountain with it. "Where is this Xia? Did he go out again?" "Woof, woof." The trees on the mountain were still lush. The trees planted at the beginning to surround the magic array were much thicker. The herbs in the herbal field were growing very well. The newly planted Xijan and Chanyang were also growing well. By the way, this task is also rewarded with a bag of herb seeds. Yu Shui generates blood and qi, stabilizes the soul. The 6 simple words showed its extraordinary effect. It was a middle-grade licorice root. It was good stuff. Wang Yao chose a suitable place to plant the seeds and watered them with ancient spring water. Then, he walked around Nanshan Hill with Sanxian. The mountain was green in this bleak place. It was really like a crane and a flock of chickens. The aura on the mountain seems to be getting stronger and stronger. First, the aura from all directions gathered in the field. Then, it was fed back by the trees on the mountain. Therefore, the aura became stronger and stronger. It was a virtuous cycle. In this way, the nearby mountains might also be able to benefit. At the foot of the mountain, 2 more people came to the village. "Hey, look, the sign on the wooden door has been removed. Dr. Wang is back." It's true. The 2 people hurried to knock on the door. However, they found that the door was still locked. What's going on? Is he back or not? Wang Yao didn't know how many people had come to the village while he was away. He didn't know if they had any urgent matters to discuss with him. In fact, many people had come to the village in the past 10 days. There were about 40 to 50 people. Some people had even come 2 or 3 times. For example, the 2 middle-aged men had already come twice. Should we go to his house and ask? Don't go. Didn't you hear that Dr. Wang doesn't like people to go to his house? Let's just wait here. Okay, we've already come here. The 2 people went back to the car and waited outside. Xiaohei. On Nanshan Hill, Wang Yao saw the black snake. It was now 5 meters long and as thick as a child's arm. Snakes needed to shed their skin to continue growing. Looking at its growth speed, it was obviously against the laws of nature. The snake obviously recognized Wang Yao and Sanxian. It raised its head and greeted them in its unique way. It seems that it has some intelligence. You go by yourself. I'll walk around with Sanxian. The snake didn't listen to Wang Yao. In other words, it didn't understand him at all. It just followed them and made a rustling sound. Wang Yao walked around the hill. He heard someone calling him. He looked in the direction of the voice. It was an elder in the village. "Uncle, hey Yao, I just saw 2 people outside your new house when I went up the hill. It seems that they want to see you." Oh, I see. Thank you. Okay. Okay, you go back first. I'll go and have a look. He went down the hill. The dog and the black snake went back to the battle array. Hey, Drive. That's Dr. Wong. Waiting outside the clinic, the middle-aged man who was smoking saw Wang Yao coming from afar. He hurriedly said to his friend in the car, "Where is he? He's so young. I've told you before. Although he's young, he's very capable. Let's go. He can definitely cure your disease." The two men hurried to the clinic. "Hello, Dr. Wong." They greeted Wang Yao from afar. "Sorry to keep you waiting." "It's okay. Come in and talk." "Okay." They went into the clinic. "Have a seat." "Who's first?" "I'm not sick. This is my friend. He's here to see a doctor." The man who spoke was slightly fat. Next to him, the middle-aged man who wanted to see a doctor was even fatter. He looked to be in his 40s, but most of his hair was bald. His qi and blood were not flowing smoothly. His internal organs were not strong. "What's wrong?" Wang Yao asked. I have habitual constipation. Sometimes I can't defecate for 4 or 5 days. It's too uncomfortable," the man said. When he spoke, there was a special sour smell in his breath. "Let me have a look." Wang Yao put his hand on the man's chest. It was a typical physical disorder and internal metabolic disorder. "You're too fat. You need to lose weight," Wang Yao said. Chapter 406. I told you that you should lose weight. You didn't listen to me. Obviously, the two people were friends. "Have you been here before?" Wang Yao asked. "Yes, I came to see you. I didn't need to spend any money. You gave me a massage. I saw that you have good medical skills and a nice person, so I recommended a friend to come here," the man said with a smile. As the saying went, a person's reputation was like the shadow of a tree. Now, Wang Yao's reputation had been spread among a small number of patients. After all, his medical skills were really excellent. He used neishi and special medicine, which was unique. The treatment effect was absolutely guaranteed. Most of the patients who came to see him were cured immediately. Some of them were even almost cured by his neishi in the clinic. In third-tier cities and even smaller counties, some famous doctors, even if they were not doctors, went to see many patients. Because the place was small, the medical conditions were limited. It was inconvenient to go to a big city to see a doctor. All these factors combined resulted in such a situation. Lianshan County was like this. Not to mention that Wang Yao was really skilled and had the relevant medical qualification certificate. Many people who didn't have the certificate also went to see him. "Lie down first. I'll give you a massage." "Okay." The man lay down. His belly was very high. He was like a pregnant woman who was 6 or 7 months pregnant. You have to lose weight. Otherwise, the treatment effect is only temporary. It will soon relapse. "Oh, okay," the man replied. Wang Yao stretched out his hand and massaged his abdomen. This disease didn't require neishi. He just used a special method to stimulate some of the meridians and acupoints in the abdomen to strengthen the digestive system and promote bowel movement. This kind of situation would cause a lot of harm over time. The harm to the body caused by not defecating for 3 days was even more serious than smoking 2 packs of cigarettes. With Wang Yao's massage, the man lying on the bed only felt that his belly was warm and very comfortable. Then, he heard a rumbling sound. Poof, a fart. It was very smelly, the kind that was very smelly. "Well, I'm sorry." He also felt very embarrassed, but his body was out of control. "It's all right," Wang Yao said with a smile. The massage lasted for about 20 minutes. During this time, he farted several times, causing the entire room to be filled with a very uncomfortable stench. "I'll prescribe you some more medicine. Chuanlian, astragalus, forsythia, angelica, dahurica, licorice." The herbs Wang Yao chose were all for clearing internal heat and expelling toxins. After prescribing the medicine, Wang Yao took the medicine and packed it properly. Then, Wang Yao reminded her of some things that she should pay attention to in her daily life. Yes. That person nodded in agreement. "Doctor, is my condition serious?" For the time being, it doesn't seem to be life-threatening. However, Some serious diseases can accumulate and gradually worsen because of some minor diseases. Your body's yin and yang are out of balance, and your blood and qi are not flowing smoothly. Your liver has been seriously damaged. If you don't pay attention, your liver's condition will further worsen. Ah, after hearing Wang Yao's words, that person felt scared. Doctor, don't scare me. I'm telling the truth. If you don't control yourself after you go back, the consequences will be very serious. Wang Yao was telling the truth. I will pay attention. The person hurriedly nodded. A massage and a few medicine cost more than 400 yuan. After leaving the clinic, the person asked his friend, "Is it that serious?" "You should listen to Dr. Wang's words." The person who introduced him said, "So young, if you don't believe me, don't come again." His friend seemed to be a little unhappy. "That's not what I meant." The two people got in the car and left the mountain village. Most of the new road had been repaired. Now, it was much more spacious. There was a river on one side of the road, and the other side was heaven and earth. Gulp, gulp. The person's stomach kept growling. Smelly farts came out one after another. Good heavens. There was no other smell in the car. "No, pull over. I have to go to the toilet." The car pulled over. The person rushed out of the car and went straight to the farm. He found a sheltered place. His face was red. The feces that he had not excreted for several days finally came out. Phew, so comfortable. To use a classic advertising slogan, it was, "Remove the toxins and relax." This doctor has some skills. Originally, he didn't take what Wang Yao had said seriously. He knew he had to lose weight, but he couldn't control himself when he saw the delicious food. Because he was fat, he didn't want to exercise. The result was that his body was getting fatter and fatter. It became more and more difficult to lose weight. As a result, there were more and more physical problems. Go back and lose weight. He had said this sentence more than once. At that time, he couldn't insist on it every time. In the clinic, Wang Yao also recorded the treatment this time. The treatment method was massage and ordinary Chinese medicine. There was no neishi or licorice roots. Such a treatment method could be used for reference and promotion. After recording, Wang Yao began to read the book, Treatise on Miscellaneous Diseases, which was given to him by the system. There were some relatively strange diseases in the book. It was also a great inspiration and guidance for the treatment of difficult and complicated diseases. This task seemed to be quite difficult for him now. In less than 3 months, he had only cured 3 patients. Well, it's a bit of a headache. Sun Yunqing's disease needed to be treated as soon as possible. There was also Su Xiaoxue and Zhou Wuxing. These were the patients that he had already treated, and there was a certain effect on them. Right? There was also the woman brought by Professor Liu. She had serious kidney damage, which was called kidney failure. Let them come. He thought for a while and called Sun Jingrong and Zhou Xiong. "Okay, I'll go tomorrow." Sun Jingrong was very happy to receive the call. He said that he would come tomorrow. After all, this matter was related to his son. The condition of Zhou Xiong's uncle had improved, but it was not convenient for him to travel long distances. Wang Yao decided to take time to go and have a look. Thousands of miles away in Bingzhou, Long Yunfei was completely in a wheelchair. He had consulted many well-known figures in the industry, but none of them had a good solution. Until now, when he thought about it carefully, he realized that it was all because of that banquet. He blamed himself for being too greedy. Did that guy poison me? He had already suspected Wang Yao, but he couldn't think of any poison that could cause such strange damage. The more important problem was that he didn't know where Wang Yao was. He only knew that Wang Yao was in Lianshan County in Hike. Fortunately, he still had Wang Yao's mobile phone number, which he got from the old secretary of the mountain village. He tried to call Wang Yao. "Well, Dr. Long?" Wang Yao was a little surprised when he received the phone call. It seemed that the call came a little late. "Does my illness have anything to do with you?" Long Yunfei asked directly. "You are sick. If you are sick, you have to see a doctor." "Oh, I forgot. You are a doctor yourself. Is it serious?" Wang Yao replied very calmly. "What do you want to do to stop? You are a smart person. Why can't you figure it out?" After hanging up the phone, Long Yunfei pressed a button on his phone and replayed the conversation between the two of them. He had used the call recording function just now. How is it? She asked a middle-aged man next to her. No, the conversation is too short, and it can't prove that your illness was caused by him. The current law requires very high standards for evidence, such as recording, the middle-aged man said. Long Yunfei's face became gloomy after hearing that. My strange illness is most likely related to that guy. He was now more and more certain. However, one was in Qingzhou, and the other was in Qingzhou. Even if he had some power in Qingzhou, it was beyond his reach. That afternoon, Wang Yao went to town and met a person. A hard-to-treat disease. Pan Jun was very curious about the reason Wang Yao came to see him. He actually specifically asked him about this. Yes. What is a hard-to-treat disease in your eyes? Well, it is not easy to judge. For example, kidney failure is one, Wang Yao said after thinking carefully for a while. Damn, don't tell me you can cure this. This time, Pan Jun was completely shocked. In current medicine, there is no other way to cure kidney failure except for kidney transplant. Even if a kidney transplant was done, it would face the terrible problem of organ rejection. Not for the time being, Wang Yao said. Hey, does hemiplegia count? You have to see a doctor first, Wang Yao said. I have a relative who has hemiplegia. He has been lying in bed for more than 3 years. He can't take care of himself. Is it far? Not far. I can go and see him, but the medical fee is very high, Wang Yao said. If it was hemiplegia, it was very likely that he would need to use blood deblicking powder. The price of this medicine was a bit high. How high? 1 million. Click. The cigarette in Pan Jun's hand fell out. That is really high. Let me think about it, Pan Jun said. Not every family could take out 1 million to see a doctor. In fact, 8 out of 10 families in China could not take out 1 million. The price is too high. My relative is a farmer. He can't take out so much money. Wang Yao stared at the teacup and thought. In his current situation, if he wanted to treat those hard-to-treat diseases, he could only use reishi and licorice roots. The former was fine, but if he used the prescription provided by the system for the latter, he would need to pay. Of course, he could give the medicine for free, but there was a limit. This was a very deceptive limit. After all, it was not that he did not give it to billionaires like Sun Jingrong or rich people like the Su family. I have to make good use of the framework provided by the system. Let's go and have a look first, Wang Yao said. If his reishi could be treated, it would be the best. Okay. Pan Jun drove Wang Yao directly to his relative's home. The man in his 60s was lying on the hospital bed. He was as thin as firewood. He looked like a man in his 80s. Wang Yao checked carefully. The problem was in the head. It was thrombosis. This disease was very scary. Once thrombosis occurred, it proved that there was a problem with the blood. It was very likely to snowball. Not only would the original thrombosis worsen, but there would also be thrombosis in other places. If the thrombosis entered the brain, it would cause cerebral blood flow, which was a typical hemiplegia. If it entered the heart, it would cause myocardial infarction. If it was serious, it would directly threaten the life. The disease was determined by the system to be a hard-to-treat disease. How is it? It is very troublesome. Thrombosis did exist, and it was in more than one place. After the examination, Wang Yao carefully thought for a while. Let me have a try first. He was going to use reishi to push the blood through the meridians and see what the effect was. This process was dangerous because the blood flow was not smooth. It could cause the blood vessels to rupture. In that case, it would cause cerebral hemorrhage, which was more dangerous. His movements were very slow and tentative. The old man lying on the bed only felt that his head was swollen and hot. After more than 10 minutes, Wang Yao stopped and carefully checked again. No, I need medicine. He needed medicine that could dissolve the thrombosis without destroying the blood vessels. Polygonum vine could strengthen the meridians. He also needed a medicinal herb that could promote blood circulation and remove blood stasis. I have understood the situation. Let's go, he said to Pan Jun in private. Okay. Pan Jun said goodbye to his elders and then left with Wang Yao. How is it? I will go back and think of a way, Wang Yao said. Hey, can I ask why you choose to treat these diseases that are very difficult to treat? Pan Jun was very curious about this. He wanted to ask just now. It is to improve myself. It is urgent to improve myself, Wang Yao said. Urgent? Why? God. Wang Yao reached out and pointed to the top of his head. He did not give me much time. Pan Jun was stunned. Be careful, there's a car in front. What does that mean? Is he your uncle? Yes, my uncle. He came to me when he was hospitalized. Do you feel helpless when you see your family member with such a disease, especially when you are a doctor? Wang Yao said. Well, at first, I felt that way, but gradually I got used to it. Doctors are not omnipotent. There are some diseases that cannot be cured, Pan Jun said with a sigh. Yes. Wang Yao nodded. Sometimes he would also think that if his family member had an incurable disease and he could not treat it, what would he do? I heard that you went to Qingzhou a while ago. Yes. There's an epidemic there. Don't tell me you're there too. How did you know? Wang Yao was curious. I accidentally saw it on the internet. I joined a group. It was some of my classmates when I was in college. One of them happened to be in Qingzhou. He mentioned it. I saw Ming Bao's WeChat. He was in Jia County in Qingzhou at that time. We were in Jia County. The epidemic was controlled because of you. I'm not that capable, Wang Yao said with a smile. Don't go back tonight. Ask Ming Bao and the others to have dinner together. It is my treat. Okay. Chapter 407. Wang Yao didn't go back. Pan Jun also changed shifts with others. He booked a hotel and made an appointment. It was still the same friends. As for the time, he had the final say. They all came early. I heard from Ming Bao that you went to Qingzhou. Yes, Wang Yao replied with a smile. Wang Yao told them about the situation in the mountain village. Donations to help the poor. Wei Hai immediately understood. In fact, since he got the strange disease, he would donate some money to organizations like the Red Cross Society every year. It could be considered as a way to feel at ease. Yes, something like that, Wang Yao said. Well, I think this is a good idea. Wei Hai said. He now had a big family and a big business. Because of his illness last time, he was open-minded about some things. Count me in, Wang Yao said. The few people in the room agreed. Giving charity didn't depend on the amount of money. It depended on one's willingness. How do we do it? I'm not very good at this. I have to think about it carefully. How about we go through the relevant organizations? If it doesn't work, we could just set up a fund, Wei Hai said. Oh, that's a good idea. Wang Yao's eyes lit up. I agreed to set up a charity foundation, Tian Yuan said. Okay. They had no objections. They didn't eat or drink. This matter was settled just like that. Does this thing need to be registered? That's easy. Leave it to me, Wei Hai said. He and Tian Yuan too were relatively good at this kind of thing. Then what should we name it? Love Charity Fund? It must have been registered. Nanshan Hill. Wei Hai popped out such a word. Nanshan Hill? Wang Yao was surprised. Okay, change it. Wang Yao didn't agree. The intention of the name was a bit obvious. He was on Nanshan Hill. They thought of some names, but they didn't quite fit. While they were thinking, the dishes were served. Come on, let's talk while eating. All right. In fact, setting up a foundation was definitely not as simple as one imagined. It required registration, management, and follow-up operations. Among them, only Tian Yuan and Wei Hai had experience in managing companies. But obviously, the two of them could not spend all their energy on this. In the end, even after they finished eating and drinking, they still hadn't decided on a suitable name. That's too long-winded. How about this? Let's each write one. We'll use whichever one sounds good, Li Maoshuang suggested. All right, that's a good suggestion. They each wrote one. In the end, Wei Hai, Li Maoshuang, and Tian Yuan all wrote Nanshan. That won't do. Wang Yao waved his hand. He wrote the two words Dream Awakening, meaning dream setting sail, but it didn't sound very nice. All right, let's go to Nanshan Hill then. You're the one who suggested it, and you're Nanshan Hill. You're the one who cured us. That's settled. Yes. One person objected, but the rest agreed. In this way, the name of the charity foundation was decided. As for whether it could be registered, it was a matter for the future. I'll consult about the registration. The registration funds were not mentioned here. Wei Hai and Tian Yuan were both billionaires. Wang Mingbao also had his own business. He dare not say how much he had, but he could still afford $1 million. Wang Yao also had the same. The registration was estimated to not cost too much. The key was the operation in the future. It was already past 8 o'clock in the evening when he got home. I didn't expect that a trip to Lianshan County today would actually make such a thing happen. If the foundation could be operated smoothly in the future, it could definitely help a lot of people. The lights on the mountain looked like soybeans from afar. The mountain wind was whistling, and the branches outside were swaying. Wang Yao was reading a medical book in the cottage. Promote blood circulation and remove blood stasis. He was thinking about what kind of medicine was suitable. Licorice roots were good, but he couldn't completely rely on them. It was not until late at night that he turned off the lights and went to sleep. The next day, Sun Jungrong arrived at the clinic at the foot of the mountain at about 9 a.m. He also brought a car full of things to his home. Why did you bring things again? Simple small gifts. Sun Jungrong smiled. Come on. There was a separate room in Wang Yao's clinic. He took Sun Yinxing in. Take off your shirt. It was the same treatment. This time, it was inhaling and transferring. Wang Yao transferred part of his neishi into Sun Yinxing's body. The treatment process lasted about 2.5 hours on and off. After the treatment was over, Wang Yao carefully checked and then said to the father and son, 1 treatment every 3 days. Okay, it was time to eat. Wang Yao invited the father and son to eat some delicacies in the restaurant next to the village. Well, the taste is very good, Sun Jingrong said. It's okay. If friends come, I usually come to eat, Wang Yao said. Sun Jingrong then told him about the mountain village. His foundation was going to invest to renovate the road in the mountain village. Well, I happen to have some questions to ask. Then Wang Yao told him some things he didn't understand about the foundation. Are you going to set up a foundation? Not me, but a few friends together. I'm not very good at this kind of thing, Sun Jingrong said. Well, I'll arrange for someone to help you. He is an expert in this field. If you have anything you don't understand, you can ask him. Okay, thank you so much. It was like finding something by chance after wearing out iron shoes in a fruitless search. Both the host and the guest enjoyed the meal. After the meal, the father and son took their leave. Wang Yao also returned home. Yao, Zhang Xiaoying stopped her son. Who is Sun Jingrong today? Why did he send so many things? He came to see the doctor, Wang Yao said with a smile. He seems to be very rich. Yes, very rich. Oh, Mom, don't think too much. His son's illness is very difficult to treat. He just wants to express his gratitude. But you shouldn't have received so many things from him. I've already told him about this. Wang Yao didn't rush to go up the mountain. He stayed at home for a while. The sky gradually darkened. The mountain village was particularly quiet under the night sky. Thousands of miles away, Bingzhou was bustling. In a high-class villa, a distorted face was reflected in the clear glass of the window. Long Yunfei's face was ferocious. In just a few days, his illness suddenly worsened. He could still walk a few steps before, but now he couldn't even stand up. His legs didn't seem to belong to him at all. He was a doctor and knew what this meant. Paralysis. Yes, this was it. If it didn't work, he might spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair. How could this be? He had thought about this question countless times. The biggest suspect was Wang Yao, but Wang Yao didn't answer him at all. Dad, it's time to eat. You guys eat first. I'll be alone for a while. He waved his hand. Okay. He stared out of the window just like that. Time passed slowly. After a long time, he finally made a decision. He turned his wheelchair and came to the table. He picked up his mobile phone, found a phone number, and dialed it. Huh. Looking at the number on the phone, Wang Yao was a little surprised. Hello. Hello, Dr. Wang. The voice on the other end of the phone was a little hoarse. It sounded like he didn't have much strength. Who are you? I'm Long Yunfei. Oh, hello, Dr. Long. I'm sorry, I was wrong. These words came from the mouth of the once arrogant Dr. Long Wang. Yao could probably imagine how scared and angry he was at this time, but he couldn't do anything about it. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're talking about. As for the prescription, I will apologize and correct it in public. As for the patent, I will change it. Give me your bank account number, and I will transfer the money from selling the prescription to you. Long Yunfei was lowering his head, completely lowering his head. If you knew this would happen, you wouldn't have done it in the first place, Wang Yao said. For such a superior person, if Wang Yao didn't have a countermeasure, he could only suffer in silence this time. Perhaps Long Yunfei thought his attitude was very good, and he had made the biggest concession. After all, he was a senior official of the provincial health department, and Long Yunfei was just an ordinary doctor. This was the mentality of some people in China. Some people thought they were superior and superior because of their position. They should do certain things, enjoy certain conveniences, and even obtain certain benefits. However, Wang Yao didn't think it was enough. Why did he have? The road there is not very good. Wang Yao said something that had nothing to do with their conversation. What? Long Yunfei was stunned when he heard that. He was a sensible person. He knew what Wang Yao meant. He was asking him to find a way to build a road. How much money would it cost? Moreover, it couldn't be built with money. It also needed the cooperation of some local departments. It was very complicated. Long Yunfei's breathing was a little short. In his opinion, this request was really too much. Call me back when you've made up your mind. Wang Yao hung up the phone directly. He wouldn't wait for Long Yunfei to think over there. It was late at night. Wang Yao went up Nanshan Hill alone. The mountain wind was cold. Late at night, Wang Yao sat alone in the courtyard, looking at the sky. It's going to get cold soon. The wind was strong all night. The next day, the temperature dropped by nearly 10 degrees. There were some signs of winter. Whoosh! Wang Yao came to the top of the mountain early. Looking around, the surrounding mountains were bleak. Except for a few cypresses, the rest were withered and yellow. Only Nanshan Hill was green. When the sun rose, he practiced martial arts on the mountain rock. Then, he sat quietly and practiced for a while. At this time, the vitality was rising. The morning sun was the most vigorous. Caw! There was a cry in the sky. The goshawk rose into the sky and flew away. Wang Yao looked up and waved at Xia. Chapter 408. The goshawk flew so fast that it soon became a small black dot in the sky. It was cold, so there was less work in the field. There were also fewer people going up the mountain. Other than grazing the cows and goats and preparing some fodder, there were not many people going up the mountain. As a result, the originally quiet Nanshan Hill became even quieter, even a little deserted. Wang Yao was very happy about this. He didn't feel cold in the spirit-gathering battle array. It was like spring all year round. He was reading treatise on miscellaneous diseases. There was an interesting medical case in the book. A person was rescued from the water. He forgot who he was after he woke up and talked nonsense all day long. A famous doctor diagnosed him as having lost his soul after he fell into the water. The meridians in his head were damaged, which was why he had such symptoms. Wang Yao first stabilized the man's mind with medicine to calm his nerves. Then, he used acupuncture to repair the damaged meridians. After about half a month, the man stopped talking nonsense and gradually remembered what had happened in the past. This illness is somewhat similar to Chun Zhou's illness. He looked at the prescription again. The name of the medicine was Gu An's heart-calming powder. The ingredients were Rehmannia chinensis, Poria chinensis, angelica, velvet antler, philodendron chinensis, and licorice. Wang Yao wrote down the prescription. He had some ingredients in the prescription, but he didn't have some. He needed to buy some, such as velvet antler. He then looked up some information. There were similar medicines on the internet, but the ingredients were different. I could try to see how effective they are. Then, he called Li Maoshuang and told him the herbs he needed. Li Maoshuang said he would prepare them as soon as possible. In the morning, Wang Yao collected some frost grass. He planned to decoct a decoction at night to treat Sun Yunqing's disease. Sun Yunqing's disease was getting better quickly. In Lianshan County, Wang Mingbao was chatting with Han Jia. Chief Physician Long has been here a few times recently. Han Jia told Wang Mingbao this piece of news while chatting. What did Dr. Long do? He asked the secretary if there was any problem. Han Jia was a little worried because she had seen Dr. Long's face not very good. I'm fine, Wang Mingbao said. He didn't cause trouble for the village, did he? I don't think so. That's good. He and Wang Yao didn't care. This was Qi province, and Long Yunfei couldn't control this place. However, it was different in Qinzhou. If Long Yunfei wanted to make trouble for a small village, he had many ways to do so. After hanging up the phone, he told Wang Yao about it. "All right, I know about that. He won't cause any trouble, right?" "He wouldn't dare," Wang Yao said. It was too late for him to regret what he had done. If he dared to do something even more outrageous, he would spend the rest of his life in regret and frustration. "Director Long, what do you mean?" "What I mean is if this patent is changed, what work does the inventor have to do?" "Are you kidding? You should know the importance of this prescription better than I do, right?" "I know, but I'll change this recipe to someone else." This is very troublesome. The purpose of a patent is to protect the rights and interests of the inventor. The inventor is very important. Why do you want to change it now? Don't worry about it so much. Can't you transfer it to someone else? Yes, but you won't get any profit if you do that, Long Yunfei said. I know that. Long Yunfei cared more about his own life and health. He was almost 100% sure that this matter was caused by Wang Yao. He hadn't been idle during this time. Because the epidemic was under control and the treatment drug had been developed, the quarantine was lifted. He went to the mountain village several times. After asking and visiting, he learned that the young man's medical skills were very good. Most of the villagers in the village who had the disease at first were cured by him. He also provided another special drug to Chun Jingji, who came from Jing, with a better treatment effect. A person with excellent medical skills could save people, but he could also hurt people. I need information about the person who transferred the drug. Long Yunfei provided Wang Yao's information, which he obtained from the local health department. It was registered when the quarantine was carried out. Okay, how long will it take? It won't take long. I'll call you when it's done. The sooner, the better. No problem. After the matter was settled, Long Yunfei left. The benefits of this prescription are so great. Why did he transfer it to someone else? What? Director Long, what do you mean? I've signed the contract. I know. I'll pay the breach of contract. Well, can you tell me the reason? Did other pharmaceutical companies make an offer? The price is negotiable. No, I've already transferred the patent rights of this prescription to someone else. Who? Someone else? No, someone else. Can you tell me his contact information? Ring. Buzz. It was a strange number displayed on the mobile phone. Qinzhou? Hello, is this Mr. Wang Yao? Asked Wang Yao. Yes, and you are? I'm from Hong Kong Pharmaceutical Company. My surname is Ning. Hello, what can I do for you? Here's the thing. I want to get the patent authorization of a prescription from you, Mr. Wang. Prescription? Wang Yao was stunned. He immediately understood. Long Yunfei. Yes, he said that he has transferred the patent of the prescription to you. He has already gone through the legal channels. Oh, Wang Yao was a little surprised by what he had done. He actually got over it. I'm sorry. Let me think about it before I reply. Well, you can call this number at any time. I'll answer it 24 hours a day. Okay, interesting. Wang Yao hung up the phone and closed the book in his hand. It seems that he is at his wit's end. Long Yunfei was really at his wit's end. He had seen almost all the famous doctors in the province, but almost all of them had no solution. That was why he did what he did. Of course, this step back was only temporary. He was going to go to Jing City to have a look. He had already contacted someone there. If it's cured, we'll take it slow in the future. If it's not cured, we have to lower our heads again, Long Yunfei thought. Do you think his treatment is reliable? Many people outside the village have come to see him. There are also 2 people in the village who have come to see him. I heard that he is good. Well, let's go see him. A woman in her 50s came to the outside of the clinic and knocked on the door. However, no one answered. Why is there no one here? Did he go up to Nanshan Hill again? I guess so. Didn't he say that he would spend the night on Nanshan Hill? He hasn't come down yet. Go back first and tell his mother that since he's going to open a clinic, he has to stay here. Otherwise, people will be worried if they can't find him. Wang Yao stayed on Nanshan Hill. He didn't come down from the mountain until it was almost lunchtime. He returned home. Have you been on Nanshan Hill all this morning? Yes, what's wrong? Someone in the village came to see you, but you were not there, Zhang Xiuying said. Really? What did you say? I told her to go in the afternoon. I know. I originally planned to stay in the clinic in the afternoon. He was also afraid that there would be patients who came to see him. Yao, be polite when talking to the elders in the village. I know, Mom. The people in the village saw each other all the time. If it was not for something too special, no one would make the relationship too stiff. He naturally knew these things in his heart. After lunch, he went to the clinic. He meditated in the clinic and practiced for a while. At around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, a woman in her 50s came to the clinic accompanied by her daughter. Hello, Aunt. Now, please come in. Wang Yao smiled and let the two of them into the clinic. The middle-aged woman came to see the doctor. Recently, she always felt uncomfortable in her stomach after eating. She felt hot, sour, and liked to hiccup. Her family originally did not agree to let her come to Wang Yao's clinic. They took her to the county hospital. As a result, she was diagnosed with excessive gastric acid. Other problems were not found. They prescribed some medicine and asked her to come back. However, she had taken the medicine for a few days. Instead of getting better, she showed signs of worsening. This was not good. She casually mentioned it, and then went to Wang Yao's clinic to have a look. Let me take a look. Judging from the appearance and smell, the old woman's 5 internal organs were not in harmony. There was moisture and heat in her body. Wang Yao put his hand on her to have a look. Aunt, do you particularly like to eat things like fish recently? Wang Yao said. Oh, let's have a try. You don't know. There's a new fish shop in town. They sell fresh fish. I go there to buy fish every 2 days, the middle-aged woman said with a smile. Your body has always been moist and hot. You can't expel it in time, which causes your 5 internal organs to be in harmony. You should eat less fish. You are doing the opposite, Wang Yao said. So it's all right. Again, you need to recuperate. Stop eating fish first, Wang Yao said. I'll prescribe medicine for you. Astragalus root, Sephora flavescens, and Codonopsis. A few simple herbs were used to bandage the old woman. A course of treatment every 10 days. Now, pat out the moist and hot in your body. You must avoid certain foods for your illness, Wang Yao said. Okay, I see. How much is it? 200 yuan. The middle-aged woman and her daughter frowned slightly after hearing this. In fact, the price was almost the cost price. Not to mention other things, even the herbs might not be able to be bought in the market. However, in the eyes of the villagers, the price was actually a bit high. Who would have a headache or a cold just to get a cold medicine? It would be very expensive if it was more than 100 yuan. Well, can I take half a course of treatment first? Okay, Wang Yao said with a smile. After paying the money and taking the medicine, the mother and daughter left. Chapter 409. Why is the medicine so expensive? The old woman muttered as soon as she walked out of the clinic. Yes, even the medicine from the county hospital is not this expensive, her daughter said. We are from the same village. This Yao is not honest. Wang Yao had done a lot of good for nothing, but this was what he got in return. In fact, this was the common mentality of the people. They were from the same village and knew each other. Whether it was to see a doctor or to do business, it should be cheaper. It would be better if it was free. However, no one's things were free. Of course, Wang Yao did not hear what they said. He did not want to be angry. That night, the mountain wind was quite cold. Wang Yao started to decoct the medicine with frost grass as the main ingredient. His purpose was to treat the fire poison in Sun Yunxing's body. The pot outside was steaming hot, but the multifunctional pot for herbs inside was freezing cold. It was a mixture of ice and fire. It was not too difficult to decoct the medicine because the composition of the medicine was relatively simple. The only thing was that the time was quite special. It was done. He put the medicine into a bottle. It was cold to the touch. The next morning, he looked around on the mountain. The ground was covered with frost. The weather was really cold. In a famous hospital in Jing, thousands of miles away. This disease. Professor Su, what about my disease? I can only recommend conservative treatment. He seemed to have seen this disease before. Okay, I'll listen to you. Go and do some tests. He wrote down a list and handed it to the patient. Okay, after the patient left, he quickly found the case that left a deep impression on him on the computer. Wei Hai, severe liver damage, multiple organs showing signs of failure. Below were some test data. Yes, it's very similar. After a while, the man came back with the test results. Take a look. Professor Su looked carefully and compared it with Wei Hai's case. The similarity was as high as 90%. I can't treat your disease, Professor Su said bluntly. What? Lucien was shocked. Then he was scared. This was almost the most advanced hospital in the country with the best doctors. If his illness couldn't be cured here, wouldn't it mean that he had a terminal illness? What should he do then? Go home and wait for death. Please take another look at Professor Su. I've already read it 3 times. It can't be wrong. If you had come 3 months earlier, I might have had some ideas. Now, I'm sorry. After hearing this, the man's face changed. His originally ugly face became very ugly, as if he had heard a death notice. But you don't have to be disappointed. I once saw a patient whose condition was 90% similar to yours. At that time, his condition was even worse than yours, but he recovered. Fully recovered. Yes, but he didn't receive treatment in Beijing. Where is it then? Lucien asked anxiously. Hike. Lucien was surprised. He had only heard of this place. It was a small seaside town. Yes, in a county town in Hike. A young doctor. If Lucien did not hear this from the famous Professor Su, he would have thought that Professor Su was a scammer trying to scam him. Do you have his contact information? Yes, wait a minute. I'll make a call for you. Then, he found Wang Yao's phone number and dialed it. Hello. Wang Yao didn't expect to receive a call from Professor Su in Beijing. A patient? The reason why Professor Su called him was because of a patient whose condition was very similar to Wei Hai's. You can ask him to come over, but I can't guarantee anything. Okay. After hanging up the phone, Professor Su told Lucien about the situation. Well, I have to go to Dao for a business trip next week. I happen to be free. Why don't we go together? Okay. Lucien hurriedly agreed. Finally, there was a glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel. This illness had caused him a lot of suffering. Now, he was very similar to Wei Hai. He didn't know how true that sentence was until his body collapsed. Health was the capital of a revolution. What was the use of having a lot of money when one's body collapsed? It's killing 2 birds with 1 stone with Wei Hai's illness. Wang Yao made a cup of tea and thought about the phone call. Those big hospitals see more patients, so there should be more difficult and complicated diseases. I'll talk about it when the patient comes. In the evening, Wang Yao's sister brought a surprise to his family because a person actually came to their house. It was a medium-sized man with a decent appearance. He brought some apples and tonics. After saying a few words to Wang Yao's parents, he left in a hurry. What's going on? Did he just say he's Xiaoru's colleague? Yes. What's his name? Du Mingyang. Is he Xiaoru's boyfriend? That's easy. We'll know after a call. Wang Yao then called his sister. What? He went to our house. Wang Ru was shocked after hearing the news on the other end of the phone. Yes, he also brought a lot of things such as apples, donkey hide gelatin, cigarettes, and wine. Is he my future brother-in-law? Sister, stop it. After hanging up the phone, Wang Ru called Du Mingyang and scolded him. On the other end of the phone, the kind-looking man laughed happily. Wang Ru was not scolding him, but saying sweet words to him. That's great, that's great. This matter made Wang Yao's mother very happy. Finally, there's some progress. Hey, tomorrow happens to be Saturday. Ask her to bring Du Mingyang over for dinner, Wang Yao said. Okay, I'll call your sister now, Zhang Xiuying said. Hey, did my future brother-in-law also leave his phone number? Wait until your sister comes back. The next morning, Sun Jingrong and his son came over. Wang Yao fed him a part of the decoction he had decocted. Then, he began to massage his blood to speed up the absorption of the decoction. Finally, he used Neishi to treat him. When he was about to finish, his sister came to the clinic. Seeing the patient, she smiled and said hello to Sun Jingrong. Is it still early? Soon, Wang Yao said in the inner room. Wang Ru made a pot of tea and poured a cup for Sun Jingrong. Thank you. You're welcome. The treatment lasted a long time. It was not over until 12 o'clock in the morning. Wang Ru waited outside and chatted with Sun Jingrong for a while. Sister, are you done? Do you want to go home for dinner? Mr. Sun, do you want to join us? No, I won't bother you. Sun Jingrong then left. In an instant, Wang Yao's card had a lot of income. Let me see. Wang Ru grabbed his mobile phone. What kind of disease did you see? It costs so much for a consultation. Wang Ru was completely shocked. Who would pay more than 100,000 yuan for a consultation? Was that person a fool? He actually paid so much. Also, how could he have so much money in his bank account? It was tens of millions of yuan. Tell me the truth. Did you trick him? How could it be? Look at him. He is so smart. How could I trick him? Wow, you make money so fast. Why does it feel like you're robbing a bank? That's not an appropriate metaphor. Well, let's put this aside first. Did you give advice to mom and dad? What advice? Of course, it's Du Mingyang. Oh, is that person my future brother-in-law? I think he's good, Wang Yao said. He's more than enough for you. Hey, did he come today? I'll call him. Don't you dare. Later, Wang Yao beat around the bush and found out that Du Mingyang was not a member of the Agriculture Bureau. He worked in the education department. He met Wang Ru by chance and began to pursue her. It was not long ago. Sister, what do you mean? What can I mean? Let's talk about it later. Well, I'll ask someone to check him out for you. What do you mean? Wang Ru was stunned. Just to see what he is like. In fact, Wang Yao had a rough idea of the person's appearance at first glance. Although he did not know physiognomy, he knew the method of inspection. He could see both patients and people. His eyes were clear and honest, and his heart was not evil. His face was ruddy, his breath was strong, and his body was healthy. As for the person, he was satisfied. During lunch, the focus of the conversation was on Wang Ru's boyfriend. As a mother, Zhang Xiaoying fully expressed her enthusiasm for her future son-in-law. When will you bring him back to have a meal together? There's no need to have a meal together. Let's talk about it later. Later? Yao has already brought Tong Wei home. Zhang Xiaoying directly used Wang Yao as an example. I'm still testing him. It's fine. Be careful that no one will want you when you're old. Mom, tell me the truth. Am I your biological daughter? Wang Ru pouted. In the afternoon, Wang Yao did not stay at home, but went up to Nanshan Hill. Wang Ru felt bored staying at home, so she went with them. Looking at the verdant mountain from afar, she was also very surprised, especially when she went up the mountain and saw that the trees were not evergreen all year round. She was even more surprised. Why don't these trees shed their leaves? It's not time yet. Wang Yao smiled. After entering the array, it was as if they had entered two different worlds. Outside, the mountain wind was bleak. Through it, people could feel the chill. However, the situation inside the array made people feel very comfortable. It was as if it was spring. What's going on? Wang Ru looked at her younger brother. A single mountain was like two separate worlds. This was simply too miraculous. This is a battle array, Wang Yao said with a smile. What kind of battle array is it? It's so magical? Wang Ru asked curiously. The location of the trees and the tree species are all mysterious. Chapter 410. You won't understand, Wang Yao said. Yes, I don't understand. Can you set up a battle array like this at home? Wang Yao asked. I don't have the ability yet. I need to use trees, rocks, or something like that, Wang Yao said. What did you learn these things from? Wang Yao asked. It was a gift from God. Wang Yao pointed to the sky with a smile. Wang Ru stayed on the hill for a while and then went down. Hey, will living on the hill prolong my life? This was the last sentence she asked before going down the hill. Of course, Wang Yao said with a smile. The ore on the hill was very abundant. If one lived there for a long time, it would have a subtle and beneficial effect on the body. It would make one healthy and prolong one's life for sure. The new roads in the village had all been built. The lanes were wider and smoother. The hot spring at Lijia Ditch had been preliminarily developed. Some people had already gone there on Saturday. When they were eating, Wang Fenghua also mentioned it. That's a good thing. With more people, the economy would develop. Let's go there and have a look when we have time. What's there to see? The resorts haven't been built yet. Wang Yao had also been to Lijia Ditch. His second uncle's family lived there. It was really a boring place. It was even worse than the village he lived in. Even if the hot spring was developed, it was just building a few resorts. What was there to see? After dinner, the family was happy and harmonious. As usual, Wang Yao went up the hill at night. Nothing happened that night. The next day, Su Changhe came to hike from Beijing. Lu Xian came with him. Well, the air here is very good. As soon as they got off the plane, Lu Xian could clearly feel that the air quality here was much better than in Beijing. The skies seemed to be higher here. Yes, a seaside city is suitable for vacation and retirement, Su Changhe said with a smile. Let's go. As soon as they walked out of the passage, they saw someone holding a sign to pick up Su Changhe. Hello, Professor Su. I'm from a Hike City hospital. Welcome to guide me. You're welcome. He had been to hike several times. We have prepared a place for you to stay. Please follow me. All right, let's go together, Su Changhe said to Lu Xian. All right. After the accommodation was arranged, the hospital staff had already arranged a luncheon to welcome them. These were all superficial matters. He didn't like it, but he couldn't reject their good intentions. In the afternoon, he talked to the hospital and asked for a car. He and Lu Xian went to Lianshan Town Center to look for Wang Yao. When they arrived at the mountain village, Wang Yao happened to be in the clinic. Hello, Dr. Wang. Hello, Professor Su. This is the patient I mentioned to you before. This is Dr. Wang Yao, Su Changhe introduced. So young. This was Lu Xian's first impression of Wang Yao. Almost everyone who didn't know him had the same impression when they saw him. Sit down and talk. He made a pot of tea for the two of them. Let me take a look at it first. He observed the color, listened to the sound, and smelled the odor. Lu Xian's complexion was very poor. His eyes were yellow. This was because his liver was not good. His vitality was weak. There was a rotten smell when he breathed. This was because his internal organs were not in harmony. After 3 rounds of diagnosis, he basically determined the problem. The problem was not small. Finally, he checked Lu Xian's pulse. It is indeed very similar to Wei Hai's condition. Does it hurt here? He slightly touched Lu Xian's upper right ribs. Lu Xian's body trembled as if he had been electrocuted. Yes, there is a big problem with your liver. The 5 internal organs are not in harmony. Your qi and blood are not flowing smoothly. System, is this a hard-to-treat disease? He asked the system silently. He got a positive answer. Yes, he had already had experience in treating this disease. He could save a lot of detours and see faster results. Lu Xian's condition seemed to be better than Wei Hai's. Do you usually like to eat fresh food? Yes, I like to eat seafood and freshwater fish, Lu Xian said. In this aspect, he was somewhat similar to Wei Hai. From today onwards, don't eat those things. Oh, okay. Lu Xian hurriedly nodded. Dr. Wang, can you treat this disease? Yes. Wang Yao nodded. Su Chang's eyes lit up. Can I learn? Well, haha, I'm sorry, Wang Yao said after thinking for a moment. The housekeeper used miasma grass, which was a licorice root. It was a licorice root and could not be seen normally. Sorry for being presumptuous, Su Changhe said with a smile. There are 2 aspects to your disease. First, consolidate the corporeity. Second, kill the poisonous insects, Wang Yao said. Su Changhe listened and nodded. He agreed with this plan. In fact, doctors who had reached a certain level of ability could think of these 2 points. The key problem was how to kill the poisonous insects. I'll listen to you. There is still a little bit. The medical fee is very high. I can afford it, Lu Xian said. He did not have a lot of assets, but he could still afford a few million yuan. As long as his disease could be cured, he was willing to go bankrupt. Okay, wait a moment. I'll decoct a medicine for you. He still had half a leaf of miasma grass in the system grid. This amount was enough for Lu Xian, who was taking it for the first time. Half a leaf of miasma grass, a few pieces of Ganoderma, licorice, and some ginseng. The decoction did not take much time to decoct. Su Changhe and Lu Xian were waiting in the room. In less than an hour, Wang Yao had finished decocting the decoction and put in a porcelain bottle. Drink a small cup first to see how it works. Lu Xian drank a cup while it was still hot. The decoction was warm. At first, Lucien did not feel anything. After more than 10 minutes, he felt that his right rib was hot and faintly painful. What's going on? Do you feel anything? Wang Yao asked after noticing Lucien's strange expression. Yes, it's a little hot here and a little painful. Well, is this normal? Let's wait and see. Wang Yao and Su Chang'e chatted. At first, Lucien was still able to say a few words, but he felt that the pain seemed to be getting worse and worse. He was sweating. Is it very painful? It's very painful, Lucien said. Come on, let me give you a massage. Wang Yao helped Lucien relax a little by giving him a massage to alleviate the pain. The pain was reduced, but then Lucien felt nauseous. There was something in his stomach that was rushing upward. Sorry, I have to go to the bathroom. Wang Yao pointed him to the bathroom. Lucien hurriedly rushed out. Vomit. He vomited everything he had eaten, mixed with something similar to blood clots. He vomited for a long time, until his entire stomach was empty. Only then did he stop. When he returned to the room, he told Wang Yao what had happened. After a while, his face became pale and ugly. It's starting to detoxify the poisonous insects, Wang Yao said. But your body is too weak. I'll give you a prescription. You could take it when you go back. It can consolidate your corporeity. Wang Yao gave him an ordinary prescription based on the regather soup. He did not use rare licorice roots, but the effect was good. This prescription is for a course of treatment. I've written down the prescription on this piece of paper. Thank you. How much is it? Wang Yao thought for a moment. These prescriptions are simple. This bottle is very expensive. He pointed to the porcelain bottle on the table. How much is it? Half a leaf of miasma grass. According to the exchange price of the system, it was at least 10,000 yuan. 10,000 yuan, Wang Yao said. So expensive? Although Lucien and Su Chang'e were prepared, they were still shocked when they heard the price. Okay, no problem. After a little hesitation, Lucien paid decisively. Well, you pay half of it first. If it works, you can pay the other half. He could see that Lucien was doubtful. No need. I trust Professor Su's judgment. Lucien happily chose to transfer the money. They stayed in Wang Yao's clinic for nearly 3 hours. Thank you. I hope I can come here again to communicate with Dr. Wang in the future. I don't know if you think it's troublesome? Su Chang'e asked. During the conversation with Wang Yao, they talked about some medical matters. He found that Wang Yao's knowledge of traditional Chinese medicine was unusual, which surprised him. It was as if he was not facing a young man in his 20s, but an 80-year-old Chinese medicine guru. Chapter 411. You're welcome at any time, Wang Yao said with a smile. During the conversation with Su Chang'e, Wang Yao felt that Su Chang'e was knowledgeable and broad-minded. Although Su Chang'e majored in Western medicine, he also had an extraordinary understanding of Chinese medicine. Wang Yao could learn something about Western medicine by talking with him, which was also beneficial to him. Okay, goodbye, Lucien said. Take the medicine according to the prescription. Pay attention to your habits and be sure to exercise moderation, Wang Yao said before leaving. Yes, Lucien said. Su Chang'e and Lucien left in a car. Professor Su, Dr. Wang is so young, Lucien said in the car. What's wrong with being young? Gan Luo went to Zhao when he was 12 and became a minister. Lawrence was only 25 when he won the Nobel Prize. There are geniuses in the world, Su Chang'e said. Dr. Wang is one of them, Lucien said. Since his medical skills are so good, why does he stay in a small mountain village instead of going to the hospital? Being a doctor is a profession. You need to earn money and support your family. He can also earn money by treating patients like this. Moreover, many people will come because of his reputation. In this society, not everyone likes to live in big cities like Beijing and Shanghai. Look at this mountain village. The air is fresh, and it's not bad. It may be inconvenient in our eyes, but in his eyes, this is his home, Su Chang'e said. Well, yes, but young people nowadays generally want to live in big cities. There are very few people who are willing to live like him, Lucien said. Take the medicine prescribed for you regularly. Pay attention to what he says. You must listen to him. Wei Hai is a good example. The first time he went to my place, he was a dying man. The last time he went to my place, he was glowing. All the indicators in his body were qualified. This is a very real example. Okay, I see. Su Changha went to the hospital and hike. He was there for communication, but more of it was to guide Lucien. Lucien didn't stay there for too long. He took the medicine and returned to the capital. Although he was still suspicious of Wang Yao, he decided to take the medicine for a while and see how it worked. The next morning, Wang Yao went to Lianshan County to send his sister to work. Sister, you should ask my future brother-in-law to do such things in the future. Why are you talking so much nonsense? On Monday, it was officially time for work. There were many people on the road. Another busy week has begun. Sometimes, I really envy you. You're so free. Wang Ru complained in the car. You're already good enough, Wang Yao said. So God really dotes on you. Yes, sometimes I feel that God really dotes on me. After sending Wang Ru off, Wang Yao drove around the county and stopped by Wang Mingbao's place. Are you free? Wang Mingbao made tea for Wang Yao as soon as he saw Wang Yao. Hey, I have something to tell you. Do you remember Dr. Long? What's wrong? He called me and asked me to intercede for him. Please. Really? Yes. Sai, what did you do to him? Nothing. I think he'll be paralyzed. Wow, good. I like it. Wang Mingbao drank the tea. Poof. He spat it out. Hot, hot, hot. Okay. I won't disturb you. I'm going back. Don't. Wait for a while. Are you flirting with Ms. Han? How did you know? Wang Mingbao was surprised. Look at your happy face. I'm leaving. Okay, I won't see you out. Wang Mingbao was indeed chatting with Han Jia. They were chatting happily. After seeing Wang Yao, they hung up. Go ahead. Wang Yao drove back. Not long after, his phone rang. Hello. Hello, Dr. Wang. Dr. Long? It's me. At the other end of the phone, Long Yunfei's face was gloomy. His voice was weak. He had no confidence at all. At this moment, he was in Beijing. For the sake of his strange illness, he had come here to find several experts. But in the end, none of them had a solution. Today, he met an old Chinese medicine doctor, a very famous one. In the end, he said that there was a problem with his meridians and they were blocked. That was why such a situation occurred. He could see the problem, but he could not treat it. The conclusion was that he would spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair. He didn't want to. He was less than 50 years old. He was in the prime of his life. He lowered his head. He chose to lower his head completely. Compared with a happy life for the rest of his life, face was nothing. I'll fix the road. It was simple. Wait for my call. Wang Yao didn't say much. Anyway, the grudge between the two of them had already been formed. Wang Yao didn't think that the grudge could be erased with a smile. Evil people naturally had to be dealt with. When Wang Yao returned home, he found someone waiting outside the clinic. Yes. Hello, Dr. Wang. Hello. The person who came was Sun Changfeng. He had brought his mother here. The old woman's complexion looked good. You came early? Not long. Sun Changfeng said with a smile. His mother's illness had been cured, and her complexion had obviously improved a lot recently. He had specially brought her for a follow-up examination. The old woman is fine, Wang Yao said after the diagnosis. In fact, he had already made the conclusion when he made the diagnosis last time, but Sun Changfeng was still worried. That's good. Thank you. No need to pay the consultation fee. Wang Yao waved his hand with a smile. He just had a look and felt the pulse. It didn't take much time. Okay, well, Sun Changfeng suddenly stopped when he walked to the door. Dr. Wang, can you treat malignant sores? Malignant sores? I have to take a look, Wang Yao said. In fact, he had treated malignant sores several times. Moreover, he had a licorice root, which was a licorice root. It was no problem for him to treat malignant sores. Okay, I'll find time to bring the patient here. Okay, in the mountain village, there was a family. Hey, you don't say. The medicine prescribed by Yao is quite useful. She had gone to Wang Yao's place to get a few doses of medicine. She had eaten most of it in the past few days. She felt much better. She didn't have acid reflux or hiccup as much. It's good that it's useful. It's just that the medicine is a bit expensive. Yes, this was not contentment. Money couldn't buy health. Moreover, Wang Yao's medicine was actually very cheap. Hey, Mom, Isn't my grandma's legs old? Let her come and have a look. Well, I think that's fine, the middle-aged woman said. The fish is stewed. Mom, didn't Wang Yao not let you eat fish? Don't eat too much. It's fine. Ephedra, angelica, white peony, Panax nodo ginseng, licorice, polygonum vine. On the hill, Wang Yao prepared the ingredients one by one. He had all the ingredients. He was going to decoct the blood deblicking powder. This medicine could promote blood circulation, remove blood stasis, and dredge the channels and collaterals. It was the best panacea to treat the so-called blood clots and thrombosis. However, because it was a prescription provided by the system, its use was limited. Can I use this medicine as a primer and add it to another ordinary medicine? It's equivalent to dilution. Wang Yao thought of this first method. He used the prescription provided by the system as the original solution. Then, he diluted it with other prescriptions of the same efficacy. This was a compromise. In this prescription, the licorice root was the role of the June. To replace it, he needed to find another medicine with the same efficacy. One could promote blood circulation and remove blood stasis, and the other could strengthen the channels and collaterals. Let's get a try. With this idea, he had to give it a try. Think about it carefully. In Dao, the father and son were eating at Sun Jingrong's home. Sun Yunqing's food was vegetarian. Dad, how about I find a house in Lianshan? You don't have to travel so much. You don't have to worry so much, Sun Yunqing said. Well, that's fine. You can communicate more with Dr. Wang this way. How about I buy a house in their village? Well, that's fine. I'll arrange someone to ask tomorrow, Sun Jingrong said. In a mountain village, they could see Wang Yao almost every day. It would be more convenient for treatment. Maybe there would be some unexpected gains. The next day, Sun Jingrong arranged someone to go to the mountain village to ask if anyone was selling old houses. Not only were there people selling, but more than one family. Their houses were the kind of old houses that were decades old. It was not safe to live there. However, the person did not hesitate to buy 2 houses in good locations. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.